Sup nerds, welcome to the Omni4Game podcast, episode 73. I'm Sean, I'm joined with Chris and Brandon as always.
Sup guys, this week's Omni4Game recap. We go over our two locals, as we're going to try doing those more consistently. We then hit our ban list discussion for a majority of this video. And then we hit your guys' comment questions. Pretty quick and easy. So if you guys like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Alright, first topic, locals recap. I don't know who's going first for Tuesday?
I am.
Oh, was it you? Yeah.
I mean, I went 0-1. No, 0-1-1. Yeah. I didn't win a single.
Did you have you had a bye?
No, a bye. So I guess you can't. I don't count it. But
technically,
whatever.
you went 1-1-1.
I went 1-2. 1-2.
I went 1-1-1. So technically, I think I would be slightly above you.
You know, you guys can check in the app afterwards to see what placing you got, right?
You're right. That requires me opening the app.
I mean, who really does care? You guys obviously both scrubbed.
I was not having fun. So at Trinity, we were one player away from doing 4 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I brought Pyramidimon. Round 1, played against Red Purple Imperial. Ben was piloting it, so you know he's a very good pilot, so he knew exactly like all the lines and stuff. Yeah, if I didn't see my 2-cost option against him, the one that because he's also playing the blue-green Imperial Digimon Ace.
Oh, the bot deck
fighter mode Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah, which can really hurt me, and he also plays I think maximum of the 4 copy. I mean, because it's a really good card, obviously, in that deck. The Wormon that lets you digivolve from the trash.
He is playing for.
Yeah, I can't remember what set.
Hello. That's so sweet.
So, anyways, he was playing 4 copies of that.
You're not gonna tell her you love her, Chris?
I'm busy. I'm talking.
God.
So anyways, he's playing 4 copies of that, and its inheritable is it allows you to suspend stuff. So even if I had a Pyramidimon on the board with blocker, he just suspends it right off the bat, and he's just gonna kill me. So I only won a game off of him because I got lucky and saw my stuff super quick and was able to kill him. And I think he was missing 1 card. So yeah, and then round 2, I got the bye, which is super fun. I love that.
I love getting a bye for losing. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I love driving, 20 minutes to a place and then getting buys. It's my favorite pastime. And then round 3, I played against Belphimon, and I lost 0-2 to that because, 1, I can't digivolve his stack once he goes into Belphi, and 2, anytime I fragment one of my cards to blow up his stuff, it's just helping him because of the Gizmons. So, I wasn't really doing much about, is Brandon gone?
His camera turned off.
No, I was gone that entire time. My Discord, absolutely crapped the bed.
Oh, okay.
You suck.
Anyway.
So anyways, so yeah, played against, Belphi, and he just... When Belphi does its stuff, and he goes into rage mode, and he's just, freely swinging at me for, 4 checks. I mean, what am I supposed to do?
When it sees the stuff, yes, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, it was really bad when he was just like, oh hey, I have this, and he just goes into it super early and does the whole combo, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in trouble because I'm I can't play over here. I'm missing pieces. I'm missing lines. Where are my Tamers at? I was not having a good time. So I did not have fun Tuesday.
Feels bad.
Yep.
I was in a similar boat. So I went 1-1-1. I did check the rankings. I somehow got 4th, which out of a small event, cool, I guess.
Top 4, let's go.
Top 4, let's go.
That bye really helps you.
Yeah.
You guys both got a bye? That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that becomes a common thing. It becomes a common thing this week.
So, I played against AJ first round playing Belphi. Game 1, I Melga stunned his blockers on board and was just able to like swing for game. Like, because he tried to stop me from killing him by setting up like multiple blockers. And I was just like, Melga, stun them? And he was like, oh yeah, you got it. I'm playing Ancient Omni this night. Game 2, I drew my entire deck and had Scramble set up to prevent myself from decking out and then kill him the following turn. But the problem is he had left me with no security, and he was going for his Belfie swing, and he had another body on the board. He only had 2 bodies. Now, I did kind of like, I wouldn't say forced, but I was like helpful in the fact that I was like, hey, like, this isn't as clear as, you know, cut game as you think it is. Like, if you need to look at the board and really think about it, because it's not a guaranteed win for me.
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that.
Because like it's a learning moment. Like you need to see these things. You need to know these things. Because basically he forces me to Omni Ace. The Omni Ace comes out and clears his board, and then he just passes turn. Because what's the condition for Scramble to put something on top of your deck? Your opponent has to have somebody on the board.
Yep.
So if I wouldn't have said anything, I would have gotten it 2-0. But we were literally going into turns like as that game ended because it was real grindy. So it was just a tie. So I just accepted the tie at 1-1-1. It was fine. I was like, whatever. This is a small event. I'm not gonna like be that guy and be like, you know, I got it 2-0. But I was like, hey, like, you need to know how these things work. Like,
you straight up kept him from conceding.
Yeah. I mean, it just felt right.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
And then my final round, because spoiler, we don't play round 3. Was against Sean, playing his Magna DNA again. And unlike last week, where I actually managed to make it somewhat competitive and steal a game off of him, this time, game 1 was like slightly competitive. It was like I was actually doing stuff. I was actually playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
But he still wins. And then game 2, I proceeded to draw every single War Greymon after immediately talking crap about War Greymon and not seeing him enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I drew all 3 of them because that was the game where I had cut it down to 3. And I had bumped up analog all the way to 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm gonna run 4 War Greys and 3 analogs. I hate seeing that many War Greys, but at the same time, like, if I don't see it, there are plays that I just do not have access to.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's what I get for talking crap about War Grey, I guess. Now he's just like, hey, I'm here now.
Mm-hmm.
Hope your hand's not bricked. Thanks.
Heard you needed me.
Yeah. So then round 3, I got to buy. So, we did sit there and, like, keep playing because there were other players there who just weren't really participating in the tournament. So, you know, I was still able to play the game and just have fun, but as far as the tournament went, it was okay.
So,
it was just okay.
I played Magna X DNA on Tuesday. Round 1, I played against Ragna. David was playing Ragna. He wasn't really seeing his stuff. You know, that deck is kind of bricky, even with the garnets and stuff. I don't even know if he was playing the Ace Ragna. I assume he is in some number, but I never played into it, obviously. And basically, anytime he got somebody on the field that I couldn't kill with my stuff, I just Heaven's Judgmented it and just got it off the board. It was just slow, methodical, like 2-0. There was nothing really he could do. Like, he wasn't seeing like anything. Like, he bricked, and it took him a long time to see stuff. And that's a death sentence versus Magna X DNA. Round 2, played against Ancient Omni. I recall, I can't remember what it was now, Brandon, but I remember you misplayed game 1 and it impacted the game. I don't remember what it was now, but yeah, game 1 was competitive, but game 2 you just bricked on all your War Greys and stuff, and it wasn't close. And then round 3, played against Ben, piloting Purpurial. It was a very close match. We ended game 3 in turns. He had one
Man,
turn.
you were digging. I remember watching that.
Oh my
man,
God,
that was
dude.
ridiculous. You went through so many cards.
I had a chance to kill him. I just needed to draw one of my 3 Magna X's that were left in the deck, and I was going to draw several cards.
And he had like less than half his deck.
Yeah. And if I just ripped it, I would kill him immediately because I was swinging twice with Pyojimon and Magna X. Would have swung another 2 times, and he only had 3 security at the beginning of the turn. I played for the win instead of trying to keep him from killing me, because he had a bunch of dudes on the field that I could have just started swinging over with my Pyojimon after I suspended everything, and then just cleared his board to keep him from killing me. But I was like, you know what, screw this. I have 3 Magnexes in my deck. I'm just going to go for the win, because I don't even know for sure if I can keep you from killing me. Unfortunately, I didn't get there. I did my best. I cleared most of the things on his field besides like a couple of rookies that couldn't unsuspend, but it doesn't really matter if you're playing against another DNA deck. But he told me, he ended up killing me on his turn. He told me that it actually wouldn't have mattered if I cleared his board at all because of the promo Wormmon and stuff.
Yeah.
So he ended up taking that in turns. But it was a very close match. And I came in second. And then I guess we'll go to Friday.
So Friday, I'll go first. I got, what was it, third?
It was yesterday, so.
Yeah, third.
Yeah, I got third with 7 points. So round 1. Oh, and I'm playing. Oh God, I'm
Green Ranger.
Yeah, Leopard X, Green Ranger. I still don't know why it's called that. Whatever.
With the ganja base.
Yeah, with the plant base. Round 1, I played not Nature Spirits. Jeez, I wish. Nightmare Soldiers. I lost that 2-0. Because one, I don't really have the deck has no inherent protection whatsoever. Like absolutely none. And I can't really kill that quick. Like I can swarm the entire board with a bunch of mons, but it's going to take me a turn before I can start swinging with everything and doing everything. So like I can see what it's doing. Like, but it's like, hey, my board needs to sit here for a minute, let you do your thing, and then I'm gonna come back and kill you. So that's really cool and all. But when he just promotes and goes, okay, well here's my Piedmon Ace, and here's my Bolt Baltmon, and he wipes my entire board.
Here's my in-archetype Ruin mode.
Yeah, and then he also has Scapegoat with the option card, so anytime I'm like, man, I'd really like to Cherubimon Ace, do all this stuff, or blow up. Yeah, and he's just like, how about I destroy this one instead, and you have to trash the security now. And I'm like, alright, cool. And then game 2, that was just game 1. Game 2, I didn't see a level 5 for like 5 to 6 turns. Like, it took forever. I was digging like crazy. Finally saw, but at that point, it's way too late. He's already setting up, and he's like, hey, I'm just gonna do it again, and I'm like, alright, cool. Yeah. So then again, flashback round 2, I got the bye. So I got to sit there again for another hour or something, because I think most of these rounds went into time. So round 3, I played against Purple Hybrid ? Whatever
you want
against
to call
Robbie. It. Yeah, against Robbie. I got game 1. I kind of just swarmed the board, did my stuff. And then game 2, he plays Psychmons in his deck because when he built his deck, he's building it for locals. So, he's trying to play around people like Brandon or Ben, those kind of people. So he's playing, I don't know how many copies of Psychmon, but I swear to God, he saw it every turn against me.
It was like 2 or 3.
Yeah, so that really hurts my deck because I have to play everything for like full value. So Leopard X is pretty much dead in the water. I think if I would have just played better, game 2, I probably would have won. But it also didn't help that he plays 2 Rivals Barrages. And if literally that card was in his security, Sean was sitting there watching that, I just lose. I had like a Cherubimon Ace, Leopard X, a Dinomon that I had just Digivolved into, and maybe one other card. And I was at 3 memory. So I literally said, if I hit Rivals Barrage out of security, I just lose because I'm at 1 security and he has the Matt Tamer and everything. He's playing Purple Hybrid, so 3 memory, he's really at 4, so he could just swing at me for free. So anyways, I Digivolve into the Dinomon for free, doing shenanigans. Swing for his last 2 possible security checks. The first one is Rivals Barrage. Kills my Shrooby. I check the last security, and then it passes turn over to him, so then it's just like, okay, you've got it. And then we were basically going into turns, game 3, because game 1 took so long. So we tied, and then round 4, the only time the deck actually felt extremely strong, I was playing against Dynasmon, being piloted by Caleb, who in round 1 was riding super high after dominating a Tyrant matchup.
Playing Dynus.
Yeah.
Playing Dynus, yeah.
I want to know what happened. I think I recorded that match. Oh my god, I recorded that match.
You did. Yeah, you
I'm
did.
gonna watch. I'm gonna watch that. I want to know how he won.
It's got to get uploaded. So
they were telling me in between games that they goofed up and realized it after the fact, and they were like, "We don't know if you can post this." So I don't know if it's posted.
Nah, put it on blast, cheats and all.
So, yeah, the deck actually felt strong because that deck doesn't really have. I mean, it does have protection, but I can burn through it so quickly, and it makes him burn his security. So I think game 2 he kept a hand without a level 3 for some reason. He told me, well, I'm going second, and so I'm seeing an extra card, and if it gets really bad, I can just hard play this Wizardmon. And I'm like, Caleb, that's terrible thinking. Because I literally, for my turn, for game 1, I hatched, Digivolved into Palmon, and then played a green memory boost. And I'm like, man, if he plays a Digimon, I'm about to go off. And he hard plays the Wizardmon and puts me to 2, and I'm like, all right, baby, let's go. Promote Palmon, effect, target the Wizardmon, Digivolve into Pal X, suspend, gain 2 memory, Digivolve into Togemon, Digivolve into Toga X. I'm like, okay, stun that, even though it's not gonna matter. Green memory boost, go into Grand Gale. And I'm like, all right, doo-doo, and then I'm like, Leopardmon, Leopard X, and I'm just like going. My board goes from like 1 Digimon to like 3.
Yeah.
Like real quick. He has no Digimon, and anytime he like puts something out, I'm like, hard play something, Leopardmon bounce it back to your hand, and he was just like done. It's the only time the deck felt like really strong.
When you were playing against Dynasmon.
Yeah. He eventually got to a point where he did see the rookie, and he like promoted a level 5, and he just went pass. And I'm like, I looked at him, I was like, Caleb, I'm not going to swing into your Dynus Ace. I was like, you had a better chance to Digivolve into it right there.
Go.
yeah. And I'm like, Caleb, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna play.
Dog.
I literally went, I'm gonna play like Sean right now, and I'm not gonna swing at you until I can kill you. And I ended up with 9 Digimon on my board, putting him to 1 memory to remove his Skullbelucci because it had 2 forms of protection.
Yeah.
So I had to do it like I literally went, all right, I play Cherubimon, effect, blah blah blah, play something, and then I was like medieval, play something, like, dude, my whole board was cracked. Yeah, it was pretty good. And then I'm like, all right, hard play this, put you to 1. He has nothing on his board, nothing in raising. He's like, all right, I guess you got it. I was like, Caleb, I'm not attacking into your Dynasmon. Like, even if I did, what is it doing in this situation?
Minus 6K.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was good enough for me to get 3rd somehow.
Hey, congrats. There you go. So for me, round 1, I got the buy, just straight off the rip. I literally hit the pairings button and I was like, yeah, cool. Love paying money to just not play the first round.
No joke, Brandon. When I saw you sitting over there with the buy round 1, I go, I'm gonna get it round 2. After I lost, I was like, I know I am. I just know it.
It is what it is. Alright, so my first round was against Caleb.
Oh,
And
God, yeah.
I'm
sitting here watching this one, too. Jesus.
I 2-0'd Caleb. So, game 1, he trashes all of his security except, like, 2. So, I swing with my Melga, the BT-15 Melga. I go into it, I swing with it, unsuspend it. Now he's at 1 security, and he has Kari and a Dynas on the board.
Yeah, you better tell the Kari story.
Yeah, we're getting there. Shut up. Right? Shut up. Get out of here, spectator. So, I then, hard play the Wargrey, DNA into Omni, and swing for game. Because, trash the last security, hit him for lethal. And we were like, alright, cool, go to game 2. We start putting our cards up and, starting to shuffle. And Caleb looks at me and goes, oh man, we're idiots. You trashed the security. I should have been able to use Kari. And I was like, man, you're right. If only we would have remembered that. Anyway, we've already kind of picked up our cards. Let's just go to game 2. Yeah. So as I'm shuffling, I sit there and I'm like, wait. No, we're not that stupid. I stunned it with Melga. And he goes, no, what did he say? He's like, oh, okay, so we're not dumb. And then I replied with, no, we're still pretty dumb. We're still dumb.
What Brandon's failing to explain is how hilarious it was for the solid, like, it felt like forever. It's like one of those moments where you're sitting there and it feels like forever, but it wasn't too long, where the two of them were just kind of talking about how dumb they were because of this Kari.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally just seconds later, Brandon's like, oh, wait, no.
No. We did it right. We did it right.
Yeah. But it was just so funny in the moment where they were like both like, oh man, we're so bad at this game. Caleb's picking it up, he's like, darn. He's like, it was just so funny. I'm just sitting here laughing because I'm like, Brandon stunned that. What are they talking about?
No,
I'm like, whatever.
You didn't pick it up.
Yes, okay. All right.
With all the info.
Brad, I was sitting there literally watching your match. I was like, Brand stunned it. I don't know what they're talking about. And I was just playing Pokemon Pocket on the side.
Nah, you would have noticed. You would have said something.
I didn't want to say anything because I figured you would pick it up eventually.
Nah. Anyway, so game 2 has an equally hilarious end to it.
Mm-hmm.
If not more hilarious, because I have 2 level 6s set up. The Wargrey and the Melga 15. I had stunned his board. No Kari to be seen this time. And he had 2 stacks. One of them was a fresh promote, so it wasn't stunned. And then a Gallant X. So, he wanted to kill one of my bodies. The problem there being is I had the Miraculous Mega Knight set up. And I guess he just forgot about it in its entirety. So he neg DP'd the Melga. And then, to pass turn, he evos into Dynas Ace. Trashes his final security to finish off the Melga with neg DP. Now, he thought he was going to get the end of turn recovery with Dynas X. I laughed and said, you don't get an end of turn. Cracked the Miraculous Mega, DNA'd into Omni, and then bot decked both his Dynases, giving me 8 memory, because he had given me 4 by evoing into it, and then 4 for the overflow he got. Because, I sat there for, a second when he evoed into the Dynas to pass turn, trashed his final security, and then said, alright, so, finish off the Melga. And I was like, Caleb, no.
You can't
Caleb, are you
evade
sure?
this.
He did the same thing in game 1 too, which was hilarious. You were like, how many layers of protection does that have? He was like 2, and he had 2 security. So Brandon literally goes, okay, do this. He's like, all right, trash. And Brandon goes, do this. And he goes, okay, trash it. And he goes, swing for game. And he's like, yeah, I guess so. And it's like, Caleb, what are you doing? Stop.
Just let it die.
Stop.
Just let it die.
Yeah, it was really funny. When he trashed his last security, I literally looked at him and I said, you just got rid of your only layer of protection. He goes, what are you talking about? I'm going to recover end of turn. And I was like, you're getting an end of turn.
I mean, technically he got an end of turn. His Digimon just weren't around to see it.
They just weren't there to see it, yeah. Oh my god, we were laughing a good bit after the end of that game. That was funny. Oh god. Round 2 I played against no, that was round 2. Round 3 I played against Sean playing Gallant X. Game 1 he just mega OTK'd me. Like basically
I did
just
OTK.
had like yeah,
I
double
promoted
cool
and killed
boy.
you.
Yeah, double cool boy, double mem boost. I don't even think I had anybody on the board that game.
I didn't even have to pop my memory boost. I only popped one of them.
Yeah.
I didn't have to pop the other one.
He just mega OTK'd me. Game 2, he misplayed and it allowed me to kill him. Basically, he thought, or he had blinders and didn't see my tie on the board.
I forgot Tai Camille was a card and on your field.
So I went into Omni when he swung at me and just went, block? And it killed his stack and it was just like, oh. Yeah, I guess that happens. Because I think you only had 4k extra DP.
Yeah, I was a 16k Gallant X. I was at 0 memory, so I was immune to your stuff, but you were bigger than me, and I was like, oh.
Oh.
Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, because you weren't stunned by Melga anymore.
Because I was immune.
You were immune. Sean's favorite keyword in the entire game. I'm immune, bub.
Immune. It's not that good on Gallant X. It's just like, it makes it better into aces, but other than that, it's not that awesome.
Yeah. Game 3 was basically me just being as Papega as possible. No, that was game 2, and I still won that one where I hard played the Garu. Yeah, that was game 2.
Was it?
Yeah, because game 3 was when I swung security, checked the option.
Oh, your rookie survived.
Alright, here's free 4 memory, I guess. Yeah, so game 3, I was like Omega bricked, and I got clapped because I dare promoted and turned my card sideways, and my 1k rookie survived its security check, and he was just like, alright, cool, I'm gonna pop that on my turn and just get a
blow
bunch
it
of
up and
memory.
get lots of extra memory, thank you.
And then he OTK'd me from there, so... And then the final round was against Dante. We were both playing for second because we were the only people in the room who were X1 at that point. Everybody else had a draw or a tie.
If I had lost round 4, even though I'd beaten both of you, depending on Bandai's tiebreakers, you could have potentially leapfrogged me.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was playing, as Chris mentioned, Nightmare Soldiers. Game 1 and 2, I was kind of digging for Omni. Because this week, I don't think I mentioned it, I'm playing normal Omni, just a straight up BT-17 entire engine.
Mm-hmm.
I will say what I love about that deck in particular versus the Ancient is you can just spam as many level 6s as you can, depending on how many rookies you have. You can just set up like 4 or 5 Wargrey or, Metal Garus, and your opponent is just sitting on a minefield. They're like, if I touch one of them, I get Omni'd. If I swing, I get Omni'd. It's just like a whole thing. And if you leave 2 of them on the board, you get Omni'd. That's one thing I do appreciate about that build specifically. But of course, you need to see the Omnis. And that was not a struggle, but it was what I was searching for the entirety of my games against Dante. Game 1, he did misplay. He was going into his Bolt Boutmon, swung with it, and he had the option to delete one of his bros to unsuspend. but he didn't want to do it, so he left his bolt suspended. And he had a Piedmon and I think a Tapirmon on the board with it. And I was promoting an Agumon. So what I had done is I hard played Melga 17, warped into 14 Wargrey, and then swung into the Piedmon with Raid, tapping my tie to give it extra DP to get over it. I got the free memory rebate. That allowed me to draw more cards, because, Koromon, the Evo, I was able to top deck the Omni, and then I was able to DNA Omni clear his bolt, get an additional rebate because of the Piedmon underneath the Bolt Boutmon, and the game was over from there. There was nothing he could do. Once I break his board, it stays broken, basically. And then game 2, exactly like the opposite, where BT-15 Melga was actually what I needed to warp into to stun his Bolt Boutmon board that he had made. And then he had set up double level 5s, and the Bolt Boutmon, and I think a Tapir again. And this time I had checked the security with the 15 Melga, and I think I had like 3 Megas on the board at this point, because I like bounced Evo'd. I went Melga, Wargrey, Melga, because I had 2 level 3s, and the final Melga was the one that stunned his entire board. So obviously I'm like, I'm going to swing out with the one that can multi-swing. And I checked the Nightmare Soldier option that lets you play a level 5 or lower. He played out a Demi Devi, reveal top 3, Piedmon was among them, and he was like, I'll take that. And like the quickness he grabbed it, I was like, oh, he's going to want to Piedmon ace me. Well, I was like, well, no, screw you. I just happened to top deck the Omni again. DNA into Omni, clear the level 5s, bot deck him, and then blow up the Bolt Boutmon. Swing per game. And he was like, yeah, no, that works. So in that game, it's like as soon as I clear his board, it's kind of just over. He basically has to hope to God that I just don't see Omni. And it almost worked. But, Omni4Game.
It's at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. I took Gallant X OTK this week for Friday. It was the winner of the members only poll. If you're interested in voting in those and having access to, or having early access to videos and stuff like that, consider becoming a channel member. Round 1, I played against Barbamon. Ben brought Barbamon this week. He built it this week, and I think he overestimated how good it was. Because he plays against randoms online a lot, and
bro, I watched that final match against Todd, and it looked like that deck did a whole lot of nothing.
It basically does. Like it makes you trash cards, or gives you the option to trash cards. Most of the effects do, or they like gain extra memory or whatever. But like other than that, it's mostly just kind of annoying. But it doesn't.
Like Todd. I came in while they were starting game 3, so I don't know what happened games 1 and 2. All I know is Todd must have told Ben, like, I'm never going to trash a card. You can always gain your memory. Because, like, the first time Ben tried to do it in game 3, Todd goes, Ben, we talked about this. And he moved the memory.
I did the same thing to him in our game. He's like, you trash a card or gain a memory? And I was like, go for it.
Do your thing, bruh.
So I won the die roll versus him. Very unfortunate for me because I bricked. No rookie, no searching card. Very unfortunate. If I had gone second, my 6th card was a rookie. Very unfortunate. So I was like, I had a level 5. I had a level 4, a level 5, and I think I had a level 6 in my hand as well. And I was like, okay. I either am if I don't hard play this level 4, I'm either banking on top decking a searching card or a rookie, which there's a possibility I could do either one of those, but I don't want to bank on that and just not be playing this game. And I was like, what could he I was like, hopefully I just don't get abused here. So I was like, here's 5 memory, hard play level 4. He set up a training and 2 memory boost and a level 3 in raising. That put me behind. I ended up drawing a rookie for turn. I was like, that sucks. Wish I would have known, because my only level 4 was in the battle area already, so I couldn't like build up in raising, which is what you really want to do in the deck. And so I was forced to play out in the battle area when I don't want to do that normally with the deck, and it just put me in awkward spots where he was able to out my stuff. If I'd been a little more patient, there was an opportunity where I could have choked him to 1 to Evo into a level 4 that I ended up drawing later in the game. But instead of doing that, I gave him like 6 memory to medieval Gallant his board, and it only cleared 2 bodies, but one of them floated, and it just gave him too much memory. I think if I'd been more patient, I would have won that game. I ended up losing because of that. But then games 2 and 3, I didn't break, and I just drew into my stuff. The Wargrowl X, or not the Wargrowl X, the Growl X, that effect was very, very vital, because he is playing option cards that can pop my stuff. And so whenever if I didn't OTK him, if he blew it up on his turn, I would play out my Digimon X, and then on my turn it doesn't have summoning sickness, so I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to start swinging again, you're dead. So I ended up winning that 2-1. I actually won in turns, game 3. And then round 2, played against Nightmare Soldiers, who had just Dougied on Christopher. Game 1, Bolt Baldemon was nowhere to be found. So game 1 was when I started fumbling the bag real hard. I actually could have guaranteed OTK'd him on my turn that I promoted through 5 security.
If you weren't mad trash awful.
Yeah, if I had more practice with the deck, I would have seen it. But it ended up not mattering, thankfully. But I could have trashed. So he had the Nightmare Soldiers card in his last card in security, which plays a body, which allows him to ace me. But that's actually not even the issue. It's the fact that there's a body on the field. So if I just mon GX to try to pop it to unsuspend, I actually do pop it so I don't unsuspend. And I had another body on the field that he could kill with the ace. So I was like, damn, I can't kill him anymore, because I could have trashed that card if I wasn't bad. I just needed to swing in a different order, and I could have just trashed it and GX'd him for game. Thankfully, he played the Piedmon. I swung and forced him to Piedmon me, and I was like, okay, cool. Medieval Gallant, blow up the Pied, and then Vortex into the other guy. Your turn at 2 memory from the overflow and everything. Ended up scooping on his turn. So it didn't matter, but I should have just killed him. Confirmed killed him on that turn. Game 2. He is chilling for like ever in the raising area, playing memory boost and stuff. And I'm like, dude, what are you looking for? It turns out he was looking for a Bolt Baldemon. And I was at 3 security, and I'd been chipping him a little bit with like searching rookies and stuff. And I was sitting there for like a minute trying to figure out if I could kill him. And I was like, damn, I have no way of killing him and maintaining turn. Like, I can chunk his security, but I can't maintain turn to actually OTK him. And so I was like, I don't think he can kill me through 3 security, hopefully. So I did something else to set up for the next turn to like definitely kill him. Turns out I was overlooking the fact that I had a scramble in my hand the entire time that would have allowed me to kill him. There was a guaranteed lethal line that I just did not see because I forgot that I had a scramble in my hand somehow. And after I did something to pass turn, I was like, was that in my hand the whole time? God, I'm so bad. But I could have for sure lethaled him if I had just promoted and saw the line, but didn't. Turns out he could kill me through 3 security. That is unfortunate. So he ended up winning game 2. And then
there's never any more famous last words than, he can't kill me through X amount of security. Proceeds to get killed through exactly that many security.
Yes. Also, I actually was going to OTK him game 2, but in order to confirm kill him through his security, the first stack I promoted, I had to Evo into Medieval Gallant, who was only going to be 14k because of the Wargrowl X effect. And I needed to survive 2 security checks at 14k. And if it had done that, I would have GX Gallant X'd him for game. And trashed his Nightmare Soldier so it didn't play a guy and just swing for game. Unfortunately, I checked to level 7 and it died on like the first check, and I was like, that sucks. So That was not my fault. That was just RNG. I could have just killed him there, but game 3, I honestly don't remember what happens. I'm pretty sure I just OTK'd him through 5 security. So I ended up winning that 2-1. Round 3 played against Brandon playing Omni DNA. Game 1 I promoted and lethaled him through 5 security, which is what the deck is designed to do. Game 2, I had a Gallant X on the field that was stunned, and then a second body that I had an opportunity to evo up. I could have, and he had a tie on the field that I just literally forgot was a card, and he had a Melg on the field, and he had a Wargrey on the field. I was literally trying not to BM him, but what I should have done is that other stack, I could have gone all the way up into a Gallant X on the swing, and I would have been bigger than his Omnimon, and he wouldn't have been able to affect either one of my Gallant X's, and he just would have ace blocked and died, and I just would have gained the memory back from the overflow, and then swung for game.
Well,
But
I would have been forced to ace block again.
you wouldn't have, because if I had done what I was supposed to do, I would have blown up your Wargrey when I went into the
Oh, one
Gallant.
of them would have been deleted.
Yeah, because I would have Wargrowl X'd, blown up the Wargrey, and then I would have had to do more stuff. The reason why I didn't do it is because I was going to gain memory back from blowing it up. So I was like, I don't want to overcomplicate this. I just need to be at 0 memory so I can swing for game. So that's what happened. That's why I did that, yeah. And I forgot the tie was on the field. And I was like, 16k for game. And he's like, block, tap, tie. And I was like, I'm so stupid, dude.
17K?
So bad. And he outed the other stack because I only evoed into the Wargrowl. Just, I was like, I don't...
Gallant X yet.
Yeah. So dumb. Anyway, I lost that because then he had an Omnimon on the field and a Melg on the field, and like I had like 3 security and he just killed me. Didn't matter though. Won game 3. His rookie surviving let me have plenty of memory on my turn, so I just lethaled him.
Absolutely dumpstered on me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I OTK'd you through 5 security again that game.
You did. Yeah.
I had a second body on the field that you didn't kill, but I didn't need it. I showed you the GX and the Gallant X to where like it didn't even matter if that body was on the field or not.
I was so pissed off that my rookie survived. I was like, oh, I'm just dead.
Yeah.
There's no way for me to
It's like I just lose now.
There's nothing I can do about it. Like, Ben was like, oh, Ben was next. I was like, look at my hand. Like, it's just full of War Greymons. Like, so I was just like, screw it. I'm dead either way. Hard play Agumon. Air of Dragons, draw 2.
Yep.
Yeah. We're playing the game, boys.
Yeah. I think you like choked me to like 1 or 2 memory, but it didn't matter because you had bodies on the field. Yeah. So ended up winning that.
Pinatas.
And then round 4 played against Robbie, who I was like, why am I paired versus you? But I think it's because I'd already beaten everybody else that had good records.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could have played against me. I don't know why. Well, I guess Robbie at the time had more points than me.
I think your options
Yeah, Robbie had 2 ties. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
So he had 5 points. I had 4 at the time.
Maybe.
Because remember he kept saying he was undefeated.
Yeah. So stupid.
So played against Robbie playing a purple hybrid Lord Nightmon X concoction that he cooked up. Game 1 he bricked. I did not open a rookie, but I had 2 memory boosts in my hand, so I'm like, I'm Gucci here, going first. And I just played the memory boost. Didn't search a rookie off the top 4, but I was like, I have another one on my next turn. Like, this isn't a big deal. I have plenty of time. He hard bricked. And he played BT 19 Lord Nightmon for 11 memory to give me 8.
Oh my god.
And the reason why he did it is he said he had Lord Nightmon X and Protoform in his hand, so like if it survived, he was going to be able to like start doing things. And I was like, I have 8 memory, and I drew a rookie for turn. I'm just going to hard play this rookie and make sure that guy's not on the field on your turn. I ended up doing it kind of awkwardly, but I saw my Medieval Gallant and just ended up killing it and giving him like 2 or 3 memory. And then I just won from there. Like, he never really was able to do much. And then game 2, I saw a rookie in my opening hand, and I just chilled in the raising area. And I think I cleared one of his rivals game 1 before I ended up killing him, thankfully, or like trying to OTK him out of security. But game 2, I just chilled in the raising area, and he got me down to like 3 security And then I promoted and just killed him. And there was nothing he could do about it. Both of his rivals' barrages, which only plays 2, were in his hand, and he knew he was dead when I promoted.
Have you considered a delicate plan? Just so you don't get blown out by a security card? Or do you just think like putting it in as a one-of is kind of a waste?
I think it's probably a waste. It's a consideration, but it's really not necessary
You
because...
have to be playing in a format that is aware that's an option and that you have to be playing kill options.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's not a lot of decks that actually play kill options. Like, Purple Hybrid is like one of the only ones that is for sure running kill options in some number that's even meta.
Yeah.
Does
Most
he
decks
only
don't have
have
room.
2 copies?
Well, he borrowed them from Will, yeah.
I don't know if he would have ran more if he had access to more or not, because I think he only wanted to borrow 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it to... There's 3 flex spots in the deck that I could potentially... I was thinking about shuffling around.
Hold on. Everyone is playing kill options. What do you mean? Every single profile I see is running 2 to 4 copies of Medieval Gallant.
You got me, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, but the shame is that's a Digimon effect. So, if you're not passing turn with that Medieval, well,
Which,
sorry.
I mean, you usually are, but the issue is when you do it, if they've gone to Gallant X the turn prior, he's way too big for you to blow up with a Medieval Gallant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You do be
That's
a
why
big boy.
you got Vortex into it.
He's too big. What are you talking about?
Too big.
Medieval's gonna be massive.
His spoon is too big.
Not if you alliance Vortex with it.
The turn that I go into Gallant X, if I'm not OTKing you, which usually if I do it, I'm going to kill you that turn, unless something weird happens. He is, on your turn, 23,000 DP.
Easy. I'm gonna double alliance with the other level 6 that is still there. No, my Death X that just happens to be there. Boom.
Okay. You got me.
26.
Your Death X that you're
26.
managing to put on the field when I have like two things on the field to reduce it by 6 memory. Yes.
You gave me 10 memory. I don't know what to tell you.
You're right. That's how it works.
It was a good play.
That was a good play. So I ended up coming in first. The deck did what it was supposed to do, despite my misplays. Thankfully, I did not actually get truly punished by any of them. But I did fumble lethal multiple times over the course of the night, but it didn't end up mattering for the most part.
It also helped that was probably one of the least competitive nights of all time.
I was like, I haven't played against anything even remotely meta. Like...
Yeah, like, I looked at the room and was like, you know what? After playing Ancient Omni on Tuesday, and then also setting up my Steam Deck now that I have it unpacked, and playing a little bit on the sim, I'm just going to play normal Omni. I looked around at the room and I saw, like, Nightmare Soldiers. I saw Chris's deck, that piece of crap. Robbie's Cook, Dynus. I was like, you know what? Omni.
I love Will. That poor kid.
There was a Mirage player in the room.
Man, what is going on? He can't seem to pick up cold with that deck. I don't know what's going on. Like,
I've only played against him one time, and I'd have to see his hand to know if he's like missing stuff or not. Like,
I will say I watched his round 1 because I had to buy, so I watched him play Robbie. And I will say I saw a good deal of misplays on his end. And, like, after the round was done and everything was over, I did approach him and I was like, hey, I saw these few things you had done. Just something to notice in the moment. Like, if you're playing against a deck that plays kill options, and they're your kill options, so he has them in the deck, you should just play with Reckless Abandon, that there's always a potential you're going to hit it. Because, like, the problem, he was being super passive. Like, he had, like, three bodies on the board, and just wasn't swinging with them.
Oh, yeah, that's not a deck you're passive with.
Yeah. Like, he went into burst mode while Robbie had less than 8 cards in his hand. And I was just like, see that moment right there? You lost your floodgate that was Mirage, because you hard evoed into it. so it's not going anywhere.
Why?
And then you got ultra mega punished by checking the rivals that was in there. So your burst mode mega died. So you lost the resources of the Mirage, you lost the resources of the burst, and then you got punished by hitting an option card. Like, if you would have been swinging with your little dudes, like, maybe one of them little dudes hits the rivals early, and then you can promote your Mirage and OTK. Because it's not like he was threatening lethal on you, and you weren't threatening lethal on him. You were just giving him time. Yeah, it's small stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just knowing when's the perfect moment to just absolutely slap.
That's a deck that you just promote and try to kill them. And
Yeah.
what their security is what their security is. You'll just try again with your next deck if it dies. But more often than not, you just win because most decks aren't playing kill options. They don't have room.
Right.
Yeah, that was the easiest first place run I've had in a long time, playing against decks that aren't actual decks.
Don't exist.
Yeah. Like the nearest thing to meta was Robbie playing Purple Hybrid, but he was playing like a wild version that you would not see
Normally at all.
Yeah. And it cost him because he straight up just couldn't play the game one. Like, there was nothing he was going to be able to do about that. Gallant X is so stupid. The only issue I have with it is it's just a one-trick pony.
Yeah. I mean, do you still think the deck is cope now that you've played it?
Well, most lists aren't designed like mine.
Yeah, most are like, I see still playing like Crimson mode and stuff like that. I think that's kind of dumb.
I do too, because if you're playing Crimson mode, it basically forces you to play Tocado, and I think if you're fully committing to the X line from the new set,
you don't want to play Tocado.
You can't play Tocado. Yeah, you can't play Tocado for free. The Blitz Tocado is the only one I would play if I even played one, but you can't play for free off of any of your effects if you're committed to the new stuff.
Because, like I was telling you guys last night, I played on the sim against somebody playing Gallant X, and they were running Tocados and stuff. And not only are people on the sim just like, I don't care what you're doing, you're your turn. I'm just going to want to get to my turn. Mm-hmm. So they always misplay. But, like, he was running the Tocados, and he never once warped. Never once. They just sat on the board.
Yeah, you can't. It's very unlikely that you're going to be able to warp. Also, if you play the warp Tocados, which aren't going to be live a lot of times because half your deck is X antibody now.
X antibodies, yep.
Is you have to play regular Gallant Mons, which the best one is BT17, and it's not even that good.
Yep.
So I just cut all that fat, and I was like, I'm just going to try to sit in raising and just promote and kill you through 5 security. I can't find the ban list, dude. Am I stupid?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, you're probably right. Alright, so ban list discussion. We're going to go over the current ban list, / limited list, whatever you want to call it, and weigh our opinions on whether or not these cards should stay or come back, and then we'll go over our thoughts for what maybe needs to be added to the list. Starting off, Promo Uko.
Bring it back. Who cares?
Shut up.
Who cares? Let it come back. What's it gonna do?
It allows you to promote every single turn in a Ricky Rush-esque strategy.
Yeah, it's going to allow you to do exactly what it was doing before it was limited.
Yes, make decks hyper aggressive that don't need a certain color rookie.
That's fine. Let them be hyper aggressive.
It's not fine.
Not them.
Okay, Chris's opinions are relevant. Obviously, this card needs to stay at 1 for now. Louis Iwata.
Stupid.
Bring it back.
I'm gonna mute you.
No, I'm just kidding. This one's whatever. It can stay at 1.
No, yeah, I think this one has to stay at 1.
It does.
Because, like, the Bond Tamers exist.
Yeah. The Bond Tamers are the reason why this card got limited.
Yeah. Just the Ancient Garu, Ancient Gray, Cool Boy, not Cool Boy, Analog Youth, Louis combos. It's too much.
Yeah, it's way too powerful.
I love how they don't even mention Tai It's
Yeah.
literally just BT6 matte.
I mean, unfortunately, that appears to be the best version. So
Yeah.
I guess that's
It's
why
just-
they mentioned it specifically.
Yeah, it's just the draw power of the Gabumons and stuff.
Yeah, it's just, it allows you to be more generic.
Yeah. Obviously, I think we all agree with this one. There should be more than just the Hammer Spark, but we'll talk about that later. But this, it needs to stay at 1.
Agreed.
Stay at 1. Never come back.
Yeah.
When I tell you,
Yeah.
I played against somebody playing Magna Armor, and it was obviously the armor version. And he saw that like turn 2 and went into Magna X. I was tilted. I still killed it, but I was tilted because it was bad and didn't have partitions, so you couldn't do any cool extra fancy stuff. I was just like, all right, cool. It's not immune anymore. Bot deck it. Bye.
Yeah. I didn't even like this in the Magnamon armor version. I only like this in the vaccine variant.
Vaccine.
Yeah,
You
got
can
hit
warp
for
on
that,
top
not
of your
for the-
stuff anyway. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to play this card. It's just another card that you just don't need to have.
Oh
in
no,
there.
this for sure got hit because of the vaccine.
Oh, it definitely.
Oh my
did.
god. Sean, I forgot to tell you. I played against a Angels player on the sim the other day.
Uh-huh.
And it was so funny. He promoted a Gatomon. This is like turn 2. So he went Salmon, Gatomon. Or Salamon. No. It was something. It was something stupid.
It's Salmonmon.
Yeah, whatever. It was some rookie, and then Gatomon promoted it, emissaried, whiffed, and then just quit. Just left. And it's like, that's why you don't play that card.
Yeah, that is 100% why you don't play the card,
The
especially
worst-
now that BT14 TK's at 1.
The worst part was they had the Tama that let them pick up and tuck a card.
So they could have swung.
They could have swung. They're guaranteed to survive because barrier.
Unless you check an option, but yeah.
I mean, fair. But, like, come on. Anyway, proceed. Sorry. That was so funny.
Yeah, sadly, Awakening can't come back because BT16 Magna X is a card. I wish it could. I would still be playing Magna X Vax if this was still a card, but it can't come
It
back.
is what it is.
Alright, for real though, this could come back.
Nume X. No, it can't.
It can. Okay,
I-
keep Uko and
I'm
Louis hit.
going
this,
to mute you.
This could come back. Please, I miss our poop
If you
boy.
don't stop trolling, I will mute you.
I'm not. I'm not trolling. I want this back. I want
I'm
to play
sure
this
you
deck
do
again.
want it back, just like I would like Awakening to be back. But should it come back? No, it should not.
I miss Monzi Xing in and then Digivolving.
Hey,
and,
you can
or
still
going to
Monzi X.
Edamon
You can still Monzi X.
going
That card's still at
Valk.
4.
and going Valk.
You can still
Ugh.
do it. It's just your deck isn't as floaty.
I hate it.
Imagine being able to play Medieval Gallantmon in a full power Nume deck.
Oh,
Imagine.
That's
I'm
why it's
telling
not
you.
happening.
Oh, so you guys don't think it could come back? Oh.
No, absolutely not.
No.
This card should be at 0.
This card being hit still pisses me off. I literally forget that it's at 1. Like Todd asked me to give him some
Yo,
rare BT14 TKs like a week ago, and I was
How
like,
many?
when I was looking through my stuff, I was like, damn, I can't remember how many he asked me for. I'll just bring a playset, whatever. So I brought 4. And I was like, Todd, here are these. And he's like, oh, I just needed 1. And I was like, oh, really? You have the other 3? And he's like, it's at 1. And I was like, oh my God.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, screw that card.
This card
I hate that card.
does not need to be at 1. If they want to hit something, hit Emissary to 1.
No,
I'm
shut up.
gonna mute you for trolling.
I'm not trolling.
No.
I think
Shut up.
Emissary is the reason why this card got hit.
The moment you had more than like one of these
Yeah.
out, the more of these you had out, the worse it was.
Uh-huh.
Because it was literally promote Pata,
Uh-huh.
Evo into Gato,
Uh-huh.
gain 5 memory.
Uh-huh.
I was pissed.
Yeah, it
What's
sucked.
the problem?
Yeah, get out of here. Now you're
Suck.
trolling.
I
Get it outta here.
think
Stay
this is
at
the
1.
first card I could see coming back.
Stay at 1.
Okay.
I'm being legitimate. I don't think
I know
this
you
card is inherently overpowered. Yes, it's really good, but so are a lot of other things that are still perfectly legal at 4. I think it's kind of ridiculous they hit this card. I think they were just trying to mega punish Magna X vaccine decks. And so they were like, Awakening's not enough. Hit something else. They're like, hit the TK.
And I'm crazy for wanting HPD back.
This card is not HPD, dude. This is a 2-cost setup card that allows you to gain memory for the rest of the game. It's effectively
said 2 cost, and the card says 3.
Yeah, it's effectively a cool boy, which is still at 4.
It's actually
riddle me this,
because when are you ever gonna do it without the Patamon?
On the first turn of the game, obviously.
Nah.
Yeah, this is functionally a cool boy, except for it doesn't search. It just adds a top card to your hand, and then you tuck something.
It goes into your second hand.
Yeah, but free. Cool boy's still at 4, but they hit TK to 1. Make it make sense. I think this is the first card that actually legitimately probably should come back.
Okay.
I'm still surprised this is the one they decided to take off the list, since it's a non-once per turn draw one trash one, but
at the same time, when you have a entire bunch of decks going around that play aces, the fact that it's when attacking is
that is
biggest.
True. When attackings don't hit the same anymore now that aces are a thing.
Yep.
I mean, imagine though if Purple had a deck similar to Magna DNA, where it's like you have that promo Vmon and you're like, dude, I'm drawing like 8 cards on this.
Yes.
The thing is, at least you're not actually gaining hand advantage because you are 1-for-1ing it. You're draw, ditch, draw, ditch, draw, ditch.
You are, but you're playing a purple deck, so like you probably want certain things and then trash if you're playing that card.
Yeah, let's say it still probably works for you.
Yeah, and it filters your hand, so like you can just get rid of cards you don't need and just draw into cards you do need. Yeah, the Sayo and Co. band pair. The only bad thing about this being introduced is the fact that I see a bunch of cope requests of they should ban pair X card with X card because now they know that this is a possibility. It's not going to happen. Anybody that's asking for stuff like that, unless it's like literally a hey, you can't play the game thing, then it's not going to happen. We're not going to see this.
Honestly,
I think they could easily just take this away if they just hit Sayo & Co.
Yeah, honestly, if they just banned the blue and red Tamer or Galaxy just straight at 0, you wouldn't have to worry about crap like this. Because obviously they were poorly designed cards with no future in sight. We'll
Much
talk about
of the
it later,
X5
obviously.
was poorly designed.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more later, obviously, but like, yeah, no, this was a mistake.
Yeah. Both of the Tamers were a mistake. Yeah, this can't come off the list because it's very easy for people to set this up. It's hilarious that they designed both Tamers so poorly. One causes an infinite turn skip, the other just makes it to where you can just basically never pay actual memory for anything. But yeah, that's honestly,
it could come off. Let's be honest. Dude, they've literally given every blue level 3 the inheritable jamming.
Yeah.
So like, why?
Point,
Just let this come back.
I actually think that this card could come back.
Again,
because like even
every color has aces now. Like jamming isn't even that good anymore.
And like Chris said, it's basically an inheritable in every blue card they print now.
And some even have it as an inheritable, and I think as its regular effect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, what? Who cares?
Yeah, this card could definitely come back. Because the decks that were playing it,
they're pretty much dead.
Well, they're not dead.
No, I guess Mirage.
But Mirage is also just playing other things that just give it jamming.
Yeah, I say it has several ways to still have jamming.
Yeah, so like hitting this doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think this card should definitely. It probably should come back to 4 because I just don't think it's gonna be. It's not gonna matter.
It's not gonna be impactful.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know if people would play this. They might still play the blue Tamas that they're already playing.
Yeah,
right,
like
exactly.
Maybe we're missing something, but like, I don't see a world where this.
Well, it's because
I think this was much more annoying before aces were in almost every deck.
Yeah, wasn't 15 Melga would have been a menace with power in this, like stuff like that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Wasn't it Mirage and Garu that were playing this? And
it was, hey, it was Mirage and Garu.
Yeah, so
especially because Garu had the antibody line, so it was always a really big stack.
Yeah, it always
like
had
Brandon. If this came back, are you gonna pick up Garu and just play it?
I mean, I have been toying around with a list, but I don't know if I'd be.
But I'm saying, if you had this, would you be like, oh, okay, no, this deck is broken?
I don't think it's tier 1 at all.
Yeah,
Nowhere
exactly.
near.
Yeah,
I think
exactly,
maybe this would bring it up to like 2.5, but the deck just doesn't have protection from card effects.
Yeah, it has battle protection, but not card effect protection.
Yeah, you can still get aced in the face real hard.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we'll get to it later, but there are several Gabu-based cards. I think just bring them back now. Who cares?
Because this got hit as Aces came out, right? Or was this around with Aces?
It came out in BT14, which is the first set that had Aces.
Yeah.
So
okay,
yeah, this
so
got hit like just as we were
was.
getting Aces, and most of them weren't that good.
Yeah, I was gonna say most of those Aces weren't good. Cause, like the only good one, well, I guess the two were the Magna cards, right? And Magna and Zudo. Okay, yeah, those three
Zudo as well. Yeah, so like now that we have very powerful level 6s and level 7 Aces, this is a joke.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing I could see people complaining about is it gives free jamming even if your opponent has nothing on the board. But if they just have a level 3 with jamming under it, they have free jamming even if you have nothing on the board.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think this card probably should come back to 4 on the next list. It's silly that it's still here. I actually forgot this was on the ban list.
Yeah. Promote Uko, swing with jamming. Yeah.
Like, this card hit the ban list before Balmon did, Sean. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel the same way I felt when I first saw it, and I was like, why isn't this Balmon?
Speaking of another card that was a mistake.
Unfortunately, this has to stay on there.
Yeah. 2024 power creep. We can't print cards with future design in mind.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like, the more level 6s they play that have really good effects, the worse this card becomes. And by worse, I mean the good type of worse.
It's crazy that, like, there are still will be, like, sporadically a deck will top with this in it, and it's just like, how'd that deck win? It's like, it saw Pockley.
It saw it, yeah.
There was at least one top 32 deck at Nationals that played this card.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, this card is obviously very good, and if it was at any more than one copy, everyone would probably be playing this deck.
I actually don't like cards like this being at 1. I'd rather they be at 0.
Be at 0, yeah. Because, like, I think Mother Control should have probably tried to use this as their win condition. Because you can just mill your opponent out. I don't know why I didn't see more Mother Control lists playing this.
You'd have to also be playing the Dark Masters.
Yeah, you have to play the Dark Masters.
Otherwise, you're paying 15 memory to play him. He mills.
You just Evo into it.
I mean, it's not really. It only mills up to the number of level 6s you have underneath it. So, like, if you're not playing the Dark Masters, he's not actually milling that much.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Most Mother lists are only playing, like, 6 to 7, maybe level 6s.
Well, I mean, you got your... Because he Evo's on the 4 colors, right? So, I'm thinking, like, Medieval Gallant exists now. You have Vikemon.
He's not that cool if you're not, like, committed to playing the Dark Masters with him. He doesn't really do a whole lot.
I guess that's fair.
He's only broken if you play the Dark Masters engine and then just a splash of other broken level 6s to get their effects.
Yeah. Like, the Dark Masters, like, I think speed it up.
Yeah.
That little engine with them.
They do. Yeah, this is a terrible card design. I think it should be at 0 because I hate losing to cards that are one-ofs like this that are borderline unsearchable. Yeah, I'm like, I lost the game because my opponent saw the one-of. That sucks.
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing the other one here in a minute.
We will, yes. I already am thinking of it. Yeah. Gabu X?
This can come back.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it probably will eventually come back. I don't think it'll come back in the next year.
Okay, but like it's literally sitting here saying in a Garurumon deck this offers both higher consistency and speed. We're past that point now.
This is extremely generic.
Yeah, but it makes no reference to anything about it being generic.
Yeah, well, they don't always fully elaborate on why cards should not exist. This card...
He searches an X antibody.
Searches 2 X antibody cards. 2 cards that either have X antibody in their name or Garurumon in their name.
Yeah. I mean,
Leviah X
I
would
don't think
Leviah is already strong. Like it's still sporadically tops. Like because that deck is just really good.
Yes.
But like if you gave them this as well, oh boy.
Like, you play this in decks that don't play any Garurumon cards. That should tell you how generic this card is.
I think it's fine.
I disagree.
What X antibody deck is going to skyrocket to tier 1?
Leviah
X and Lord Nightmon X. Those are the two purple good stuff decks that would play this card and played it for.
I literally play the Dark Animal Engine that plays
a bunch of X antibody cards and proto forms.
X antibody cards. Yes.
Yeah, let him.
Who's trolling now, Sean?
I think it's Brandon. Brandon is coping. He's just so pained by it being hit.
Unfortunately, I know for a fact this one can't come back.
Yeah, Garu X.
He flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, just far too good. He's a level 5 effect on a level 4 that you could potentially Evo into for effectively 1 memory.
Yeah, proto form? Evo for 2? Gain a memory?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly pretty stupid.
Yeah. I could see him potentially coming back eventually, like Gabu X, but I think he'll come back after Gabu X does.
Yeah. I think, if anything, they just need to do retrains. Just print these cards again, but with just more generic effects. Like, not erratas, Sean, not an errata.
A whole new card?
A new Garu X with a very similar effect that's only usable in its archetype.
I think you should get a new X antibody line since they had to banhammer 2 of the 4 cards you got in the X5. But I'd prefer if they just had different stuff, like different effects.
I mean, I like the inheritable. I like his form of protection. It was very nice to just be able to recycle your deck instead of trash your sources.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just the draw 3, discard 2, gain a memory.
Imagine Greymon had this.
Stupid.
Dude, I wish.
Right? That's what you guys needed. This card should be a 0.
Yeah, Anubis Mon should be at 0. It's super unbalanced. If you see Anubis Mon and your opponent doesn't immediately answer it the turn you go into it, they probably lose the game.
Like, if you guys watch the channel consistently, Sean just did the Beyond Broken.
Mm-hmm.
He literally had to play a tier 1 deck, a top tier 1 deck, to be competitive with Anubis at full power.
Yes.
And this was printed, like, what? God, like almost a year ago?
Over a year ago.
Has it been that long? Yeah, and it's still that good.
Yes.
No, this card never should have been printed.
Especially in a good like pilot's hand. Like,
yeah,
I would probably commit seppuku. If Ben came every week with Anubis at full power, I'd be like, all right, I'm quitting Digimon. Like, I'm not doing this.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But no, like, the fact that this card is that old and power creep has still not surpassed it is insane.
Yeah, card should be at 0.
Should never have been printed.
This is a I lost because my opponent saw a 1-of card.
Yep.
Then we have. This is when this card got hit.
Yeah, so stupid.
Surprisingly, this Gabumon is still at 1, which I forget. Which it's an on deletion draw 2 trash 1 inheritable. Yeah, he's still at 1.
He didn't get lifted as well?
We would have scrolled past it.
Still at 1.
Yeah.
I mean, he could just come back.
This could come back. I forget this one's on the list because I remember thinking this would come back before the draw 1 trash 1 when attacking, not once per turn would come back, but turns out we were wrong.
Yeah, I mean, an on deletion, draw 2, discard 1. It's a +1. I mean, you get a +1 in the trash as well, which purple likes. But I mean, you have to lose your stack to do it, and you have to be committing to a level 4. I think it's fine. I think the major issue is when people were comboing this with the Demimera and the Ismon. Yep. But I think we're past that now. I think we are.
I think it's silly that this is still at 1. I think it should come back to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geogram
This
on
could
BT13.
come back.
I think it's ridiculous this card's still at 1. This
Yeah.
Yellow Vaccine,
I'm-
I don't even think would even still play it. They would not play this card anymore if it came back to 4 because they
Yeah.
have much better things to be doing with their level 4s.
Yeah,
That's
the
He
yellow
plays a
decks.
Tamer, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
He plays a Tamer
plays
under
a Tamer?
security.
Yeah, so I think now that TK is also hit, like, yeah, who cares? Like, what is Yellow Hybrid going to make a comeback and play this? Because he doesn't even play Blue Tamer, does he? So you can't play him in Ancient Garu.
He plays yellow and red.
Yeah, so I don't even think you could play him in the Ancient Garu deck.
Yeah,
No,
and I don't even think.
New Koji... No, they're all blue. There's
I don't even. I don't even.
Takuya Koji Dual Tamer is yellow.
Yeah, who
that's the
cares?
only
That
one
deck
to play off of
sucks.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they mention here that it got hit because of Shine in addition to Yellow Vaccine, but I don't think this is particularly good in Shine. It is okay in Shine. It is nowhere
Like,
near ban list worthy in Shine.
The only way you're confirming it in Shine is if you let your Marcus die, it recovers itself, and then you have an Agumon to Evo into this to play it out for free.
Yes, that is the only time it's good when you see it in Shine.
That's-
Otherwise, you're just
that's the play.
fishing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's cool you get to look in your security and see what's up, but, like, okay.
Yeah, I think this should come back. I was surprised it didn't
Just-
come back in the August ban list.
He does recover, correct? Like,
Yeah,
if
he recovers
plays
after you play. If you play a Tamer, you recover.
something. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's like
Yeah.
TK on legs, I guess, but you play a Tamer instead of search a card to your hand.
Yeah, like kind of ridiculous that I don't think he's overpowered.
All right,
Galgamon.
hear me out. Hear me out. If they hit BT11, I think this card could come back.
I would agree. I think this card's perfectly fine if BT11 Mirage is at 1 or 0.
Because I mean, this would probably just become their main level 5, using it with the BT4 or the BT13.
I personally would do BT4 because it's the same memory gain effect of the BT11. It's just not
not a
broken.
floodgate.
But yeah, I mean, Mirage players would have to figure it out if they still wanted to play it. But I think this card's fine at 4 if BT11 Mirage is not at 4.
Yeah, because I mean, his
I mean, they're
unsuspend
still
effect-
doing. Yeah, they're still doing the unsuspend stuff. So
Yeah,
it's
they're
like,
just doing it with other stuff like Juan Kunmon now.
yeah.
Let's say either way, they're still getting their effect.
Yeah,
Like, cool, he bounces a level 4 when he comes out, I guess.
yeah. The entire deck
Okay.
bounces stuff. Like, who cares? That effect was never the impactful part of him.
And the thing is, you could also, technically speaking, play around this one. Because you can just have less than 8 cards in hand, just dump your hand, keep playing stuff. And, it's not always feasible, but
It's never
it has
feasible.
counterplay.
That's never feasible.
what
Mirage
if you're
forces
playing,
you to draw cards.
What if you're playing heavy metal?
That is like one of the only decks you could be playing where you could actually try to get below 8, but even then they can make you draw like 4+ cards in one turn.
Yeah. Also, can we just talk about how in Chris's camera, he's just slowly melting away? He's just slowly losing himself in the frame.
Yeah.
I am.
Scatter mode.
Nah,
Um,
it can't come back.
Yeah.
It can't come back.
I don't care, personally. Like, are there any traits it has that make it broken? Because right now it's just a on deletion draw 2 discard 1, right?
Draw 3, discard 2.
Yeah.
I believe you can play this in heavy metal if you were so inclined.
Okay.
You could give this guy 2 security checks. And he does
He is a
have
Dark
jamming.
Dragon, so I guess. He
Yeah.
does have jamming.
I could see this going either way. It would increase consistency of certain purple strategies that are able to still play this card if they're not super archetype locked, or just this happens to fit in their archetype. I don't know if it still needs to be on the list, though. That's a harder question.
Do you think
It was-
it's okay even if they bring back the Gabumon? If they brought both back at the same time? Because that's the Gabumon, the Demimera, and the Eismon all back on.
Yeah, it's just
Back
too
off.
much. They're seeing way too many cards off of this.
Yeah, I mean, you get to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see 6 cards in your deck and discard 4 of them.
That's not even counting the draws for Evo.
Yeah, that's 2 additional draws. So that's 8 cards drawn, 4 discarded for evoing up into it and then it dying.
Yeah, for 2 cards essentially.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That's too many cards, and that's exactly what purple needs to do: is fuel their hand and then discard cards. So that's just like way too much.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think to be on the safe side, I would leave this at 1 for now.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's only 4 memory to play. So like,
yeah, it also
you
is
could just hard play this for 4.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what's your opponent gonna do? Oh, let me blow it up. Okay, cool.
Bot deck it.
Yeah,
to be fair, there's a lot of removal in the game now that doesn't just outright delete.
Yeah, true.
This thing does have jamming.
It does have
jamming. It does.
Yes.
So yeah, bring it back. Who cares? Got jamming.
Savior Huck. Shout out to Bandai for bringing this back to 4.
Yeah, I mean it's at the point where it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it's a scary deck if they see their stuff, but it's still a combo deck at its heart. Looky what I got. Just waiting to play it.
Dago bricks the deck.
Yeah.
At least for now.
I think there's a way to build it where you can be competitive, but yeah, this card was obviously fine to bring back to 4 because Justmon's still not doing Justmon things.
Past his prime. Yeah. They hit this card too late to begin with.
They did, dude. Right as we got BT9X anyway, they were like, "Hey, let's hit Tommy."
Yeah, they were literally like, "This is just for the Japan players, guys." You know, they were kind of tired of it. It's a little late, we know, but it's fine.
I mean, I still see this card sporadically top in like Hex Bile Blue hybrid decks. Not anywhere over here in America, but like overseas.
Okay, I was like, I have literally never seen a card this in a topping list in like 2+ years.
Yeah, it's like sporadically overseas. If you go to like the Digimon meta page, there'll be like random.
All right, are we good?
That's up to you, man.
Okay.
You're the one who pooped out this time.
What were we saying?
I think we covered it. It just got hit too late. It was fine to come back. Like everything was.
Yeah, the deck, the archetype dominated 2 consecutive metas for us, or 2 formats for us, and they finally hit it right as we got an option card that literally kept it from doing anything meaningful.
Yeah.
And then they brought it back, and
yeah, look at that. Nothing changed.
Yeah, nothing changed. Blossomon from BT3.
I mean, I think this could come back. Who cares?
No.
I mean, you can keep what's it called at 1, the other level 5, but like this one, at least this one doesn't have an inheritable.
This is an in-archetype free Evo into level 5 for Bloom.
I mean, yeah, but they have Agitar. They have Agitar too.
Agitar's not free.
That one's.
Agitar's not free.
Isn't it like? Doesn't it have a suspend or like Digivolve for cheaper?
Yeah, but it's not free. This is free.
What is it? 1 memory?
It's still not 0 memory.
But Agitar has an inheritable.
Being able to skirt the resource system that they have in place is not good, and I think they've learned that because we don't see Digisorption cards anymore.
You know what?
Instead of doing that, you should be able to plus off of it.
Yeah.
TK. Oh man, that was weird.
You know what? You're right. You know what? You're right, Sean. If this card came back, Blue Mord would be so broken and just so.
Right.
It would be the.
I'm not even saying that. I think this would be bad. They shouldn't. They should not give us free Evos like this.
Yeah, but Green needs some. They have nothing, man. What are they doing?
They just need to be better about design. They need to ban HPD and need to be better about designing green decks. That is Green's issue, is the design of their decks.
But okay, say this came off. What plays this? What deck is going to play this?
I think
and
any green deck
better?
would probably consider playing this, just since it's a free level 5 Evo.
I mean, Tyrant might consider it. They'd lose out on their inheritable for their 5.
Tyrant's not playing it.
Yeah,
Tyrant's not going to play this.
Tyrant's the one green deck that would not play this, just because it's not.
Tyrant's the only meta deck that's playing this. I can tell you right now, Leopardmon's not playing this.
You could.
Or Green Ranger.
If you're playing the vegan base, then you very well could justify playing this.
Okay, yeah, but I just think there's better options, like the Shiny Beetle, the Rapidmon, even the Grand Galemon is better than this card in my opinion. Because yeah, you can Digivolve for 3. You're right, that's cheaper. But like you get no real value after that.
You promote a level 4 Evo for free, and then Evo into Leopardmon and start popping off in your opponent.
You're right.
If your opponent has a Spikemon.
There's definitely not decks that are doing that right now as we speak.
I don't think free Evos like this should exist, and I'm glad that this is at one.
Like, I get the other one. I can't even remember what it's called.
You know the Greymon that's still at 1? The Grey X? That just reduces?
That should come off. Jesus.
He doesn't even make it free, and he's at 1.
Yeah,
this guy's
he's at 1. Yeah, but this doesn't even have an inheritable.
So literally, what? It doesn't. The inheritable is irrelevant. It is the card text on the card.
I know, but I'm saying though, like I would understand if it had like a good actual inheritable effect. No. It's like okay, it makes sense. Like
Argomon's inheritable is stupid anyway. It doesn't. Argomon's inheritable is also irrelevant.
But it plays free bodies out.
It plays a level 3 suspended from your hand when attacking. Oh my god, so good.
That's better in Bloom. You get a bunch of value off of that.
I don't think this card should come back.
I'm just saying. I think if it comes back, I don't think anything gets better for it.
I think
that's just what I'm saying.
Just for chaos sake, I would like to see this one come back just to see if it does do anything.
You remember how we don't like the Galaxy Tamers because of what they allow you to do? This guy's a Galaxy Tamer.
That's splashable in so many different things.
This is also splashable. This is just a green level 5. The only issue that you're not seeing with this is because green sucks as a color. If green did not suck as a color, you would be extremely scared of having this come off the list.
Yeah, but there's nothing right now, green-wise, that I see.
Right now, this would impact future card design.
If they release something, they could hit it again. I'm just saying right now I don't see anything.
I think that's foolish. It would impact their card design in the future, and I think it's unwise to unban something just to be like, well, we'll probably have to hit it again eventually. But
Sean, HBD's still at 1, and it's been at 1.
And it should be at 0. It should be at 0.
Right, so like their card design philosophy is out the window. They got green decks like
they
Nature
pick and
Spirit.
choose. They pick and choose what they want to restrict due to card design. It's really weird.
Listen. All right, the both of you. All right, all I'm saying, as somebody in the middle of this discussion, I think this warrants a Beyond Broken episode. Chris, build a green deck with this card in it.
I think I would have to be the one to build a green deck because I'm trying to justify it shouldn't come back.
Okay, Sean, fine.
Like,
build a green deck with this card.
You can put this in any green deck. It does not need to be Bloom.
Build Tyrannomon with this and tell me if it feels great.
I mean, probably wouldn't be that bad.
It would be bad because it comes out suspended.
Oh, because it's Tyrannomon. You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll think about Beyond Broken, but
yeah, I think this can stay where it is.
Yeah,
I'm fine with this.
This shouldn't come back. Gantmon is. It also limits future card design. In addition to,
I think if they swap, what if they swap this and Iron Mako?
So the issue is that if they did that, obviously I think Beals would be worse for it, but this is generic.
Future, if they print more Beals stuff, this would be better in the long run.
It's not even that. This is just better. If you're playing a mill deck, like Purple Hybrid, you can just play 4 of this, and it would just mill more. It just make it that much easier to mill your opponent out.
Yep.
Because they would probably be playing, like, you could play this in Millith Loop.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually surprised they don't play it in Millith Loop just as a one-of.
Just as a one-of, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this card can stay.
Yeah, that card's fine.
Alright. I'm going to say it. It can come back.
Actually, I agree with you. Because of the prevalence of aces and stuff, I wouldn't mind if...
I don't think Security Check +1 as an inheritable in a blue deck is nearly as strong as it used to be. Now, there are situations where because this is a generic, you have 8 cards, Security Check +1 could be dangerous. Like, for instance, Hexblow has Security Check +1 already.
Yeah.
I think
no.
I
We
actually,
can't. No.
yeah,
I see it right now. I see the deck. It's literally the Garu line into this, and then they go into Hexplow, and they're swinging for like 2 security. Nah, I'm not doing that.
well, this thing doesn't let you unsuspend like those other level
Nah.
5.
it does.
I don't care.
You just attack
Purely
with it,
just the,
unsuspend, and then you evo into something else and swing for a bunch of damage.
No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
Never mind. 'Cause
actually-
you know what? I have
But
PTSD.
aces, guys,
I literally have
aces.
PTSD from you going from a level 3 to this card into the X antibody one
And just killing you.
me.
Yeah.
And killing me. Nah, it can't come back. I don't care what you
yeah,
say.
now that I think about it more, I don't think this card can come back because it makes a strategy like that too fast to where you don't have enough turns to even really defend yourself.
I
Yeah.
think it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, of course you do. Nah.
Let me have it.
Keep it.
I vividly remember dying to this card before I
Yes.
even had a chance to
You're
promote
just
my first stack.
You're letting your past control you. All right, let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
Yeah, this
Let it
card's
come off.
this card's in the past, Brandon.
No, let
Good
it come
point.
off. Let it be the present.
It's coming off.
Great point. Grand Kawagamon promo.
I had him, Chris. I had him on my side. Why'd you have to say anything?
It wasn't even him. It was before he started talking that I was thinking about it, and I was like, actually, I was wrong.
Because AC/DC started playing behind me, and I started getting war flashbacks of swing, unsuspend.
I think you
Swing,
mean Creedence Clearwater
unsuspend.
Revival was playing behind you.
Okay, yeah. Swing, unsuspend. All right, 2 checks. Okay, Digivolve, swing, unsuspend, 2 checks. Okay, swing, game.
It's like
Game?
I have a level 4 in raising,
It was
especially now that we have scrambles. That makes it even worse.
Yeah, right.
No, it was especially bad because they printed Garu X, not Where Garu X,
Yes.
who let you unsuspend as well, fueled your engine. But then they also gave us Metal Garu Ace, who was a free level 6 Evo.
Yes.
So you can go into your Metal Gex to unsuspend swing for game.
Yeah. Really
And
dumb.
the Where Garu X also gave you an additional unsuspend.
Yeah. Extremely stupid.
But, hear me out, it's a deck that is quite literally the biggest of glass cannons. It dies to any form of removal.
It dies
and
to
most
options
every
and
ace
security, which, as we discussed earlier, not a lot of decks play anymore.
card. And ace
That's-
cards.
That's not a viable
Because-
argument.
A lot of the
The
times
deck-
you're not going to have time to set up an ace. And even if you do set up a stack, if they go into the Melga X before you can ace them, they can just bounce if it doesn't have protection.
But hear me out, right? Go back
I'm
to the
done
Beyond
hearing you
Broken
out.
video. Go back to the Beyond Broken video.
What did I beat
John
you
literally
with?
Angels. You literally set a wall up and I could not touch you because I have to swing with my level 5.
Yeah.
My level 5 has no protection.
It's
It's
one
like
deck.
The-
Blue has always had a hard time against yellow. That is a bad comparison.
all right, let's do another episode. I'll build the most broken version with
you
the
would
current
still
ban
hard
lose
lose to
with
Angels.
just this.
You would still
Yeah,
hard lose to
I
Angels.
still hard
Angels
lose
has
to
only
any
gotten
wall
better
deck.
since then.
That's what I'm saying.
lose to
Like
any
blue,
any wall
Blue-
deck kills it.
Yeah,
What
any
do I do
wall
with
deck,
Magna?
but not
My
every
only
deck
hope
is a
against
wall
a deck
deck.
like my only hope against a deck like Magna is blue plugin.
again, a yellow deck.
No, I'm talking about Magna DNA.
Yeah.
Magna DNA.
Yeah, like what do I do?
I
against
think-
that deck?
I think you could kill them fast enough if you have a good hand, because that deck has to see the dual tamer, and they have to see 2 level 4s, 2 level 3s, the Pyodron, and the
I have to
Magna.
see 2 level 3s. I have to see 2 level 4s. I have to see 2 level 5s. I have to see
And
2 level
somehow-
6s.
And somehow when you play
And
that
the
deck, it's
option
always
card.
possible.
Yes.
It's always happening sometimes with you.
All right, Grand Kawagamon.
They literally did this to stop future card design from being stupid, right?
I think
Yeah.
this was yes, but it was specifically because you can Evo on top of this guy with Tyrant.
Yeah.
You can give Tyrant like multiple security checks, Evo on top of Tyrant, and then just swing for Tyrant.
Like, I think the
Yeah.
thing that balances Tyrant is how long it takes for them to actually lethal you most of the time, whereas this would speed that up significantly.
Yeah, especially because you could play, theoretically speaking, a green X antibody line, which would give you multiple forms of Digiburst to give multiple security checks. It's Digiburst 2 per check, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would be a X antibody level 3 line, an X antibody level 4 line, an X antibody level 5 line. That's 3 Digibird for 3 additional checks. That's 4 security checks on Tyrant alone.
Yeah.
And that's assuming you don't also play out the Grand Kawaga Ace to give him an additional 5th check.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this card
That
should
was the issue.
probably stay at 1 just because it does limit future card design, much like it says here.
Yeah. No, that would be a bit much. This card can come back. Why is this card still limited?
Because they hate us.
Why is this card at 1, dude?
This is no longer Greymon the card game. They hate us.
They didn't even hit this because of Black War. They hit it because of BT12 Raid War Gray. That archetype could evo for 1 into their level 5 and then go into the Raid War Gray super quick. But that card sucks now because aces are a thing and Raid is not that good anymore.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, correct me if I'm wrong, but couldn't you have this guy on the board and then protoform to reduce the evolution cost even further if you were going into an X antibody?
You could, but that doesn't really benefit you a whole lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're skipping your level 5, so it's not even that great.
Yeah,
I think it can come back.
I think this card should come back. I think if they want us to be able to play Black War again without feeling awful about ourselves, they should give us this card back.
Yeah, this card I think is fine to come back. Anybody in the comments who disagrees, don't even bother.
Yeah. Please give it back to us, Bandai. I never sold my hollows.
They're still just waiting.
Just give it back. Calling from Darkness.
All I'm saying,
I think this card should go to 0.
Of all cards in BT11 to hit, they hit the Greymon. That's wild. Anyway, sorry.
It's surprising. I don't think this card needs to go to 0, but I don't think it should be at more than 1.
I think in Purple Hybrid, I mean the abuse this card can see, and like
a lot of them don't even play this.
My major issue with this card is you get the full value out of it no matter what.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think they should at least blow something up.
Yeah, I don't have anything on the board. Let me go grab my pieces.
I do have
something on the board that wants to die. Cool. Let me go get my pieces and pop something to.
I think it would be different if every deck had a card like this, or every color.
I mean, it's something like it's purple though. Like
I know that's what I'm saying. Like if it's just like the memory cards. Like obviously, Hammer Spark has always been the best one, right? Like Jack Raid's always been like number 2. Right, and then Gravity Crush, and then etc., etc., etc. But like, if every color had kind of like a card like this, where it's like imagine you only see your 1 level 3, your 1 level 4, your 1 level 5, and you're like, man, yeah, you can at least pick it back up and continue playing the game. I think it'd be more fair.
You know, every color does have cards that do that now, right?
What, this card?
They're called scrambles.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that requires counterplay by your opponent. I was thinking if I were to
requires your opponent to play the game. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to design a card like this for every color, I think every color would have to have a downside to recycling pieces.
No, I guess Sean. Okay, so yeah, we could send this to 0. I mean, we have scramble cards now. Like so.
I don't think this warrants going to 0. I've literally never thought to myself, I lost the game because my opponent drew this card. And I think those are the cards that need to go to 0.
Until you out there Anubis, I've had
people activate this on me. I've never thought to myself, damn, I just lost the game because I just activated Calling from the Darkness.
I mean, I agree. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Sean. Like, I've never been like, man, I've lost because of this game. But when they do see it, I'm like, oh, that's like, I hate that.
Murdered me because he saw this card in Purpurial.
I've never really cared when my opponents activate this on me. Like, it's never been like, oh no, that's a big shift. Yeah. I think this card's perfectly fine at 1.
It's fine at 1. It's definitely not coming back, but...
Yeah, I don't think it should come back to 4, but I don't think it should go to 0 either.
I wouldn't mind if they made a new version of this that had actual downsides, and it wasn't just raw plus. But That card could be at 4.
Yeah,
That theoretical card could be at 4.
It's
Or
a +1.
You absolutely had to delete something just to add anything back. Or something like that.
Sunrise
I think
Buster.
I think this could come back. Who cares?
Nah,
Oh, you know what? Talmon Loop might abuse this actually.
Why would they play this though? They just ruined it.
I don't know. I don't know. That's what the comments would say. Nope, Talmon Loop.
The reason why this was hit, I'm not even going to read the words on here. The reason why this was hit is because Sakuyamon Maid mode got to effectively activate it twice in purple hybrid decks.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's particularly good anymore. One, they hit Jet Sylphie, RIP, but also like I don't think I would play this in Shine if I had access to this.
I wouldn't.
I still never have put one in my deck.
That deck is too tight. Why would you want to play?
Yeah, there's like no space.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. It's not premium DP reduction. It requires you to already have Tamers in play, which takes a while, even if you're playing them for free. Like it's not like I think the game sped up to the point where it's not going to be that impactful most of the time.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but the future Sakuya Talmon stuff specifies it has to be a one-color option?
Yes, they did that on purpose because of this card.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
doing that, maybe you can bring it back, but maybe I'm just not seeing something that would abuse it, but
I mean, I'm sure this would help like security control and stuff, but I mean,
well, I was going to say, could future cross decks play this? Like the future cross one we're about to get? Like, is that going to use this?
Maybe, but like, who cares?
Yeah.
This wasn't hit because Cross was playing it.
No, I mean,
yeah, Cross played it, but it wasn't hit because of Cross.
Yeah. I think this card's perfectly fine now. I'm surprised it's still on the list, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Susano could play it because of their double tamer.
You could. I mean, I think it would buff certain decks, but like, I feel like if it would be that impactful, they would already be playing it as a one of, which I don't ever see it in any decks ever.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is like Susan by itself, I don't think even benefits that greatly from having it. Sure, you're playing the tamer, but it's like, okay.
It's only minus 3k per tamer. Also, they have to be specifically red or yellow tamers as well.
Oh, yeah, so that wouldn't even really help Susan that much.
Yeah.
If anything, you'd probably play it in like red hybrid, just because you could play your Takuyas.
But if that were the case, wouldn't you be playing it as a one of already if it were that powerful?
Red hybrid's not playing that deck.
Yeah, I don't think that card gets. I think it goes back to 4, and people don't play it.
Yeah. This card can never come back, unfortunately.
Speaking of cards that could come back to 4, no one would play it.
That is incorrect. Please stop trolling.
No.
I still see casuals. No offense, casuals. I still see people that I know are casuals or just did not play when this was at 4, saying this card could come back to 4.
Like questioning why it's hit. Yeah.
They're like, this card is so fair. Just bring it back, dude.
You weren't there. You weren't in the trenches.
You didn't experience them going, hey, this is unkillable. I'm gonna OTK you through 5 security. Nothing you can do to this stack.
Okay, all right, yeah. What are you talking about?
Evo Sean? Into this guy. What, Gallant X? I could die to security options. Evo into this guy.
Your restrictions are a little bit harder. You have to be at 0 memory?
Yeah, 0 or less, dude. That's hard.
Okay.
That's difficult.
All right.
Magna and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The issue with this card isn't even really the Wind Digivolving effect that makes it immune to a couple different forms of removal. It's the extra security check it gives you, and the fact that Alphamon decks can stuff these in their sources at will.
Yep. Imagine, I'm sure there was a time when someone had all 4 under one stack.
Probably. It would be Caleb too, because Caleb always sees his 1 every single time he plays his deck.
I hate it.
Yeah. God, I don't think this card can ever come back to 4. This card is...
Yeah.
It's too easy for them to just put it in their sources. Also, this would buff the decks, which are already kind of wild.
Yep.
Yeah, I would not like it if they brought this back to 4. I think it's way too good.
Agreed.
I'll let you guys talk about this one. I have no.
I know Chris thinks it should come back to
Opinion on
4. I believe we need to do a Beyond Broken on this.
I don't think even if it did, it's pointless. It would probably see play in the new cross stuff, but I mean, I think the new cross stuff has moved past this. I don't even think it would see play.
I think the biggest problem with it was so low to the ground and easy to pop off with it. The drawing of multiple cards meant you always had more pieces to use for it. It recycled your Tamer. Like, sure, aces exist now, but if we're gonna use what we used against Garu against me for this card as well, where, yeah, are you gonna have your aces set up quick enough?
Shut up, Brandon. You know how much more you have to have set up with this card?
This deck requires way more setup than Melga does.
Do you know how many cards I have to see just to play this card?
Yeah.
Compared to your Garu, where it's like Digivolve, draw, Digivolve, draw, Digivolve, draw. No. Like, I have to be like, set up Tamer. Alright, set up Tamer. I have to have these pieces to cross into it. And then it's like, okay, cool.
You know what, Sean? We need to bring Magna DNA, and I'll bring full power Melga with promo wear, and we'll see how that goes.
I mean, I think you just activate the high speed plug-in.
No, I will not put the plug-in in.
Oh, okay.
Then it's not full power because that's like your card.
Well, no, that's because that would be like the generic everybody list. Obviously, the plug-in is my card. Like, I love that card.
Yeah.
But this would be your Joe Schmo list.
Yeah, I think
they don't know about the tech.
I think there's a decent chance you outspeed me most of the time. Just kill me before I get a chance to set up, unless I open up really nutty on you. I mean, we can try it.
You forget I'm gonna hit probably 2 Ken Davis out of security.
Well, it's not gonna matter if you kill me that turn.
And then I'll be 1 piece shy from being able to kill you.
Yeah, anyways, I think this card could have come back before the announcement for the new stuff. But with the new stuff, I mean, I think it's probably got too much support overall now.
I think
it could probably get abused.
We would need somebody who's actually like competently aware.
Been coping with cross art.
Well, I was gonna say somebody competently aware of how the new stuff works to actually take this, put it in the deck, and play it, and see how that would actually affect it.
It just, the deck takes a lot. If you don't see, I think what's the name of the Tamer? The Taiki?
Yeah.
If you don't see that card, this card does not matter.
They have
3 of them now, so
they have more cards that let them do that.
No, I know, but I'm saying there's only 2 now. There's the Taiki, and then there's the 4-cost one, right?
There's also a Kiriha that lets you do it too.
Kiriha.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, but I don't remember ever seeing lists play that, but I guess in the updated list maybe
I don't think
would.
it existed back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you might be right.
I know that this originally required you to see that Taiki because that's what let you combo, but I think there's more Tamers that let you do it now. I think I would be curious to see this come back to 4, but there probably is something that we just don't realize would happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this card is just a big question mark. I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm just not sure.
I'm thinking with the new support. I don't think it could come back. Now I don't think it might get played with the new support. I've seen a couple lists now where Japan are playing those cards, and like some of those cards aren't even being played in crossheart decks, but they're just getting splashed in regular decks. Because some of those, because remember when we went over those cards, some of them were ridiculous.
Some of them are really powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
Come back. I mean, who cares? What's this gonna do?
Dude.
What's it gonna do?
Everybody
remember when was it Lucas? Was it Lucas who commented and was like, "Hey, this can't come back because of this"?
Yeah.
Like it can come back now.
It's specifically because of Ancient Garu. Essentially, if you didn't go into the Ancient Garu line, this was your secondary play. So you had 8 top end plays where it was either Jet Sylphie or the Ancient Garu. And the thing is, if you went to the Jet Sylphie and you saw Ancient Garu again, or you saw your 2-cost option, you could recycle it and just repeatedly, and it was like a whole thing.
That's fine. Let it come, because guess what? Is Ancient Garu seeing any play right now? No.
I mean,
surprisingly, no.
If we went
like who
through-
cares? Let it.
I don't
maybe
understand how
this'll-
the ancient decks just fell off the face of the earth. They're so
That's
good.
what I'm saying. Let it. If maybe this will give it an injection that it needs and actually see play again.
If we go through with some of the bans we're probably going to talk about later that would nerf some of these other decks, like a Mirage, like an Imperial, this, if it also came off, could power ceiling it straight up past it, and it might be an issue.
I'd like to see this card come back to 4.
Well, Sean, we've already talked about it. Cook on the deck, make it, and I will do the Beyond Broken video with you.
Okay. I think it should come back.
And we can skip
I
this. We
agree.
already talked about
tell me when
it.
he came back. LOL shouldn't
Nope.
have been printed in the
There's
first place.
A good
Yeah,
reason
can't-
this is our only banned card at the moment.
I remember reading this at the BT5 pre-release and being like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
I
what?
was like, we can't really abuse this that much now, but there's no way this doesn't become super abusable in the future if we get just to the right
Yeah,
level
this card
7.
had an infinite ceiling, and then BT7 got printed in Japan, and they said, "Hey, watch this."
Hey, Susan, for 1 memory, you're dead now.
Have you considered the game is over?
Yeah. BT6 reinforcing memory boost. I think this can actually come back. They literally limited this because of security control decks, and I think this would be fine to come back.
I don't think security control decks at the moment are even like maybe like Mother Control. Could
That is the
probably try
new
to abuse
security
this.
control, but they don't. I don't think they play enough yellow sources. If
I
any.
wouldn't want to play this in my deck. Like 6 memories a lot. I'd rather be playing something else before
Yeah.
playing this.
Like it is a good effect, but I think, like Chris said, I think 6 memory is just a little too costly now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, I
that's
feel like there's
a lot.
enough cards floating around that are like, oh, trash the security, add security to hand, where this, like, you know what the security is going to be. You have that information. I think you can work with it. I think this card now, at this point, has enough counterplay to where it's fine.
Yeah, I think this, I forgot this card was actually limited.
I think the big
This-
problem is it gives you 3 memory when you crack it. I think that's the biggest problem.
It does, and that was the biggest benefit of it. But in addition to being pseudo draw power and security control, which was needed, but it's just security control is not that good right now, and there's a reason.
Yeah, it's in a format right now where if it did come back, where it's like I want to kind of be taking multiple actions during my turn. This is like a 1-turn action, and
I mean-
it's not even gonna feel that great.
following
Secon
turn
is a
it'll
1
probably let
action
you
per
set
turn
up.
deck anyway.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
following turn it'll let you set up multiple.
Yeah, the following turn after you do it, it does like you take 2 actions on the next turn, which was like how
Right.
it was so good. But even then, like yes, it would buff security control, and people would probably tinker, but I think this card would be fine.
Yeah. Then a card that can never
Nope.
come back.
Ice Wall, very stupid card.
Could never have been printed. This is one of the first cards where I think if they made a new version of it, it could potentially be one of the first ever hard ones per turns.
I feel bad
I think
for
if they just made it
Japan.
cost like 3 or 4 memory, it'd be fine.
Yeah, even
I mean,
then, I think it would be pretty stupid.
We've had it good over here, huh? I mean, we didn't have to deal with this or a Pokemon.
I mean,
Speak
we
for
dealt with
yourself,
this
dude.
for
I played in the
a minute.
Nationals format where this is at 4.
Yeah, we played
Did
with
you?
it for a good minute. Yeah.
It was at 4 for Nationals. It was the only official tournament we had in English that had this card at 4.
And Gabu Bond was tier 0 because
Yeah.
of it.
It was.
Like an actual tier 0.
It was pretty good. Yeah, this card can't come back. It's funny that people don't even play this at 1 anymore, because honestly, it's not that great at 1. It's only good when you can play it like every single turn.
When you can
Yeah.
spam multiple, or if you can go back-to-back turns with it.
Yeah, just keeping your opponent from doing anything significant for multiple turns, and then you're like, I'm just going to set up and kill you.
The thing is, too, it saw play a lot, like, even after it hit 1. Like, it was a staple for a good while.
Mhm.
I think we've just gotten to the point where it's
It's
just
kind of a
getting-
brick. It's a brick now.
yeah, it's getting cut.
Like, I've
It's getting
built blue
cut
decks,
for
and I would
cards.
draw this card and be like, it's like Emissary for me. I'm just like, I don't want this card in my hand. I would rather it
Yeah.
be something that I can do.
Yeah, no. Good card. Too good. Way too good.
Yeah.
First, don't
Argomon.
even start. We've already talked about it.
Card
Don't
should
even-
stay at
No,
1. It's a free Evo.
I agree with this one because again, it's got the inheritable. Yeah, sure, it only plays
The
level
inheritable
3,
is super irrelevant, dude.
Yeah, let me play my floodgate for free.
Let me play my green level 3 suspended on the field.
Dude, I mean, literally, think about it. You could tuck, X anti. No, if you tucked X antibody under this Swang, Digivolved into Cherubimon.
The inheritable wouldn't
Yeah,
happen.
it doesn't see it, so that's what I'm saying.
Also, Cherubimon's not an X antibody Digimon, so.
Oh, true. No, I'm talking about Cherubi X antibody. Duh.
Sure you were. Sure you were.
I get why this one is because it's at least got inheritable. The Blossomon doesn't have one. That's what I'm saying.
The inheritable is irrelevant.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Anyway,
HCD,
further effects.
why the hell is it still at 1? Please ban it, please.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna happen. It would have happened by now.
This is truly one of those cards where it's like, oh, I lost because you saw it.
Almost every time I've had my opponent put this card on the field versus me, I have lost a game because they put this card on the field versus me.
But damn, don't it feel good when I Digivolve into Magna X for free with this card?
Can't relate because I actually don't play it in my Magna list.
Damn, it feels good.
So much, I'm not playing it.
It's not even that. I cut it for other things. It is also kind of a brick. And how I see bricks.
You have to be winning.
Yeah, you have to already have something established, but that doesn't mean this card is not 100% a sack card and shouldn't be at 0.
It just feels like I'm standing up and slapping my opponent in the face like, yo, I'm winning right now.
It's so bad. Please ban it. Savior Heart came back already. Eismon. I think this needs to stay at 1 because we've actually gotten more scatter modes printed since this.
Yeah.
This would just be a free body in a purple deck if you can discard it, which is very easy. And that is actually it for the existing list.
All right. Who wants to go first on what they think should be the first card to hit if we're going to hit something on the new list?
I mean, we all already kind of think Mirage should get hit.
Specifically BT11.
Well, why would they hit Mirage, though? It doesn't have an inheritable.
You're right. It doesn't.
Level 6, son. It's strong. Shut up, son.
But the other card, it was only broken because it had an inheritable.
Anyways, I didn't say it was broken. I'm just saying, like, I could understand why. Anyways. Because it has more effects than just Digivolving for free.
It's a walking floodgate.
Anyways, yeah, it does a lot.
So BT11 Mirage is long overdue.
Yeah, we all agree that could probably get hit. It's just been around long enough to where, like, it's crazy to me that Numamon saw what two formats? How long was it around?
It was about 2
formats, where it was like.
The moment we got access to like Edamon, Numa X,
it was like 3 formats, I believe. It was BT15 until end of August, so it was like I think 3 formats.
So yeah,
so it was like 2 to 3 formats. Whereas like Numamon saw a lot of success, and they're like, dude, we gotta hit this. We gotta hit it. Yeah, Mirage has been around since BT11.
It got
a lot of
How many
years?
Well,
literally.
It got even better once BT13 hit, because then they got the burst mode, which meant they could play even better.
Yeah.
Like think about it.
That has steadily just gotten better and better and better and better over time.
You could not.
Where its ceiling is getting.
You cannot pick another deck in all of Digimon right now that you could have picked up then, and just been like, I've gotten so much money's worth of value out of one deck.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, you could literally one guy. You just know there's one dude out there in the world who plays Digimon who picked up Mirage and has never dropped it. You just know there's someone out there because he's never had to, and he's always been meta.
Mm-hmm.
When you're updating the list, it's like you're not even updating the key important cards like the Mirage. You're updating the lower end stuff. Like, oh, this card gives me jamming as an inheritable. It's in there now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they took away my Tama. All right, well, I guess I just have this gain of memory Tama instead. Like, it's just a whole thing.
So I think we all I don't even think we really need to talk about it that much. We all agree Mirage should go.
I
If
think
not
the player base will be
I-
very upset if it's not limited.
Yeah, like I don't even think it needs to be. Dude, just hit it to 0.
I would love for them to actually ban it, for the same reason that like Anubis and stuff should be banned. But because those cards are still at 1, I think they're just going to limit it. Unfortunately,
It's going to be.
So I think that's one of the obvious ones. I think another obvious one that we can probably all agree on is oh, what is it called?
Davis and Ken.
No, I like
Gonna
that
talk
card.
about that one.
I think
No.
Davis and Ken should go to 1. Yeah,
You shut your Sean. I thought we liked this deck. We like playing that.
But it's
I
super
enjoy playing it. Doesn't mean the
generate.
card is unbalanced. Just like I enjoyed playing Awakening at 4. It doesn't mean I knew that card needed to be hit.
I lost.
Dave's and Ken
spot.
is very fair.
Dave's.
I lost on the
Dave's
spot.
and Ken.
Yes, Ken and Davis, very fair.
No,
I
you were saying it sounded like you
swung
said
my rookie.
Dave's, like DAVES.
Oh, yeah.
I swung
Dave,
with my
Dave
rookie,
and Ken.
and I checked a Davis Ken. I lost on the spot.
Well, yeah, that's your fault for playing the game, you idiot.
Yeah, how dare you
win.
swing at my security, dude? You
Dude.
should have known about the security bomb known as Davis and Ken.
I think I mentioned this to Sean the other day. I think it would have been way more balanced if both effects required it to be suspending to do it. Like, if it would have been start of main phase, suspend this card to play a level 3, and then you couldn't suspend it later to strip sources and gain memory, I think it would have been a little more balanced. But the fact you can do both effects is just crazy. In one turn, at least.
I would say yes, more balanced, but I still don't think I would
It's
like
still
the
bad.
design of the card.
Like, okay, not bad. But
I don't
it's still,
think it
it's still
fixes
crazy
it.
Strong. Yeah. I think that would have at least made it more fair.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it would definitely hurt. That would definitely hit Imperial, for sure.
Yeah.
It would hit it hard.
Which Imperial's another deck that's been doing really well since it came out.
Well, I was looking at all the top decks. I was thinking, like, hey, what can, like, kind of maybe get, like, hit out of all of them? So I was thinking, yeah, obviously Mirage. I guess you guys want Ken and Davis hit. And then I think for the other top deck, Purple Hybrid, I'm thinking, what, Matt? Just to kind of hit the loop?
I did see a suggestion to hit the BT2 mat, which actually
I just don't know what else out of there.
I
What
think it
else out of
actually
there
makes
would
a
you
lot
hit?
of sense because that's what allows them to go infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
And
do
then-
prefer to hit older cards rather than newer cards.
And then if you're
Exactly.
also doing that on top of hitting another card we're going to talk about later, obviously the memory gain cards, I think if you did both of those, I think it definitely brings the power level of that deck down, and then it just doesn't immediately become the tier 1 optimal strat after the other decks get hit.
It still gets played. Like, it's still going to be, like, a good deck. It just
Yeah, it's still
it
good.
makes it to where you can't infinitely loop your combo, and you keep doing it over and over. Because you can't hit Duskmon. You can't hit Velgr.
Yeah.
You hit either one of those cards, the deck is completely dead.
Dead.
You can't hit those.
Yeah.
So, like, just hit the mat, knock out the
loop.
the infinite loop. Yeah, and that's it. Just like, I think if you hit all 3 of those cards out of those 3 decks, I think that helps just bring down the power level of those decks. And then for the next deck, I think this is the card I was thinking of earlier that we can all kind of, like, we have to do something about these is Sio and Ko and Ko and Sio. Like, they got to do something about one of those.
Yeah.
About one of those or both of those Tamers.
The red one specifically, I think you straight up ban. Just get it out of the game. It's so generic and so stupid. It just doesn't need to actively be an option for any deck to be playing. Like, any red or any Digimon that can Evo on top of a red or a blue Digimon, it just infinitely takes their ceiling and just brings it higher.
I
So you can
wonder
literally
if
just you can just make generic good stuff decks with this Galaxy engine, and it's just unfair.
could the fact that that's a Tamer, could that be limiting some of their card design for red decks?
I mean, it's
Possible.
limiting card design for any red or blue good stuff things.
Yeah.
Like the
Sean,
fact
are you
that
re-sleeving something?
I was putting the new cards in my Magna X DNA.
Oh my god, this guy, his
And then-
Lydramons that he got.
I got top four textured Ligimons last night for coming in first and then trading.
Hey, well, you know what? Take out those Ken and Davises right now.
Well, then I just
You
will
don't
take
want
the
'em.
deck apart because it doesn't exist if that card gets hit.
Exactly. Well, according to you, you want to hit. So go ahead and take them out.
I think it should be hit. There's a difference between wanting something hit and thinking it should be hit.
Knowing something is so broken it needs to be hit, and enjoying it when you're actually doing the broken thing.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not going to hit something, why wouldn't I abuse it?
Yeah.
So we can kind of all solidly agree on what those 4 cards, with Matt being like the one like I could see it.
I think
Like those are like the definite ones, right?
I would say Matt is the maybe card.
Yeah, Matt is the maybe. I think Jack Raid is the bigger issue for that deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were getting there. We were gonna get to those option cards.
The other 3.
I just think that the Matt brings it down, and then obviously we're gonna talk about the Jack Raid, where just like Hammer, we hit it to 1.
Yeah.
Which would also bring it down.
I think Jack Raid, Blinding and Gravity Crush all need to go to 1.
There's not any other ones, right? It's just the 4 of them.
Just Hammer Spark as well. There's technically a black one and a green one, but they're both terrible.
Are they
Okay,
really?
so you guys think that even
They don't
it's
actually
off-play.
they don't do the same thing.
Oh.
even without them having security effects, you guys think that the Gravity Crush and Blinding Ray should get hit?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
The amount
okay.
of times I have absolutely pissed off Ben purely because I was playing Red Hybrid for so long, and I would always have multiple or 1 Gravity Crush in hand just to swing for game. It's stupid.
There's no counterplay to it, and in a game where 2 extra memory can be the difference between you killing your opponent or then getting another turn, that's massive.
Especially when 95% of the hybrids Evo for 2.
Yeah.
Like Blinding Ray and Grav Crush. It's just a free 2 memory to hybrid for game.
Yeah.
And even then, like, there are ways that Red Hybrid can move forward without it. I think we've already started to see lists play without it because they can just have the Rush Gigasmon, where you can have a Tamer that was played through one of your effects, Evo into it, and then swing end of turn. But Gravity Crush just makes it where you can do that more consistently.
Yeah.
I think it's almost always only played as a 1-of anyway. But it's still stupid. I think Gravity Crush is the only one that I would sit here and be like, oh, maybe you don't have to hit it. But the thing is, if there's a deck in the future that can abuse it, it's just like, just hit it now. Hit it now and it's off the board. You know what I'm saying? I can say the same thing for Blinding Ray and Jax Raid, especially Jax Raid. Jax Raid's already been involved in multiple loop decks, right? So I mean, just get it out.
I'm surprised it hasn't been hit yet.
When they hit Hammer Spark before Jax Raid, like, I understood, but I was like, why not both?
It's just Jack
Why not just
Raid,
hit a
by the
bow?
way.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Jax Raid.
I'm gonna
There's no
Chris,
it's Jack Raid.
just like Chris and his stupid mispronunciations.
Well, you
I'm
said
just
it like
not gonna-
10 times in like 3
Sorry,
sentences.
Sean, what was that Omnimon deck? Alter B, right?
Yeah, Alter S
Stupid.
Turbo.
Anyway, my bad. Jack Raid.
You're not the only one
you
that
said
does it.
right.
I hear
Jack's
and see people do that all the time, and I'm like, it's just Jack. There's not more than one of them.
And then what else is there?
I
I
see
know a lot of people
people.
are campaigning for Protoform.
Yeah, I
that's
think.
just because they can't get a hold of it.
Yeah,
can't afford
that's probably mostly people that can't afford it for some reason. I see people clamoring for Magna X, but I don't think that's necessary.
I think that if they hit Ken and Davis, I mean, the deck will still be really good because that version doesn't even play it. So like you'll still have the armor one, but I don't think it pushes that deck over the limit if you hit anything in that deck.
Well, I don't even think it's. I don't think it's necessary to hit Magna X.
Yeah. I think the fact
That's
that
what I'm saying.
the yellow Vax version of it was good enough. Because that was the issue, is it was being able to proc his effect before you did anything on your turn.
Yeah.
That made it where it was purely uninteractable.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you're playing these decks that have that opening window, like sure, in the DNA armor version, they could OTK you, but if they can't, you have that turn when they have to try to hit you again.
Yeah.
They have to swing at your security and potentially play into something.
Yeah, it is pretty unfortunate.
It's no longer Omni immune. There are windows now.
I could definitely sleeper hit here. See them hitting Digimon. Get that card out of the game.
Shut up, dude.
Ooh.
Do you see any Angels list top any events? Hardly ever.
I think if
Mirage, if a lot of these decks get hit, I think it could be the card, one of the decks that steps up.
Yeah,
hold on.
Us talking about it.
We haven't even talked about it yet. What about Balmon?
Let me finish my thoughts.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we'll get to Balmon. I think they were to hit anything in the yellow 3 Great Angels, I think it's Angelomon. Straight up. Because that's the lot.
They just reprinted it.
Dom Angelomon.
They're not hitting
Cherubi Ace won't get hit.
Nope.
Well, they're reprinting Angelomon Ace from BT15 in box hoppers. So it's not getting hit.
They've done it before.
What did they print? What did they reprint?
Savior.
Yeah, they printed. They gave us that and then hit it.
They gave us the event pack version.
Yeah, and we were all like, "What the hell? Why did they do this?
Just hit this card."
Oh.
And then it eventually came back.
I don't think that
if you were to hit any card, I don't think you do. I think it needs to be the Angelomon.
No, I think it's Dominimon.
I think Brandon's probably correct.
Once you get multiple Angelomons out, it's over.
I was trying to be nice. Yeah. I was trying to be nice and say Dominimon, but he's the one who picked Angelomon Ace. Okay.
I mean, his hit makes more sense because it doesn't just kill the archetype, but I don't think that's necessary. I think the deck's plenty fair.
If it were to get hit, it would have to probably be like 2 or 3 formats from now. If the hits we do hit right now impact the meta so much that it becomes the tier 1 strat, I don't think that's possible.
It loses DP reduction and D-Evo still,
which are becoming more prevalent.
Yeah. So I don't think it's that big of an issue.
Okay, so Balmon.
Yeah.
Because Takumi Kazuchi could become
and they keep giving us more and more support. Now you can mind link with the new Tamer they're going to give us on play.
Yeah, I think now is the time where you could hit Balmon. It would bring the deck's power level down, but it's still a good deck. It's still playable.
Absolutely.
I think we are now at that point where I agree. I think Balmon needs to be hit.
Yeah, they probably would limit it instead of banning it, but I would much rather than ban a card like that. But
yeah, but that would be
their Tama and goes, I got it.
Way worse for your opponent to hatch that card first versus a Bukamon first.
Okay, but hear me out. Would there be any reason, right? Because again, we know how this deck is. Would there be? I think it has to be straight banned. Would there be any reason not to just play one Tama?
That's actually a good point. I think
that's what I'm saying. Just zero it.
Yeah, you just would play 0 Ukos and maybe just 4 of the good level 4 and just play a bunch of search cards.
Yeah, just because all you got to do is see your 1 combo.
Yeah.
Just play 0 Tamas, or the 1 Tama, and be like, okay, I saw it. I'm winning.
Yeah.
Guaranteed see it.
Because that's how that deck is anyways. If you see it, you win. If you don't, you lose. It's so why even play?
Yeah.
I think the way that would even balance the deck out to where they only have the 1 Tama is now you can counterplay it, because now, you can't promote anymore. You promote once and you better hope you're killing. So they have almost 0 aggro outside of the turn they promote.
True, yeah, they can't just promote just to get some value out of it.
Just to get AGs on the board for free.
Yeah, they would have to kill you the turn they promoted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have to hard play it. I think 1 is fine. Maybe you see a world where they play 2 or 3 Tamas, like some blue lists were playing with Buka, where they only played 3 Tama.
Yeah.
I tried it.
I think that probably would be what people would do is 2 to 3 with the 1 Balmon. Because you would just straight up lose the game if you're forced to promote and you just can't win.
Okay, so alright, that's fine. Is there anything else in that deck you think would need to be hit?
If they didn't hit
because it wouldn't matter because they already have so many Tamers now.
If they hit Balmon, if they did not hit Balmon, I could potentially see an argument for Tamagotchi to go to 1, because they are printing the new Ace Tamagotchi, and I think the Ace Tamagotchi is way more fair. It's not nearly as, oh, I'm just going to kill you immediately now.
I think BT14 Luga would be a potential hit.
Or, yeah, I was going to say, or the Luga, or the Fenrir Luga that lets you play the
Luga. The rookie from BT14. Yeah.
Oh.
Because that's a way where if they trash their Tamers, they can. It doesn't matter because they just get it back for free.
Grab it anyway.
But if you hit that card, that becomes an issue. They can recycle that card and get it back on the field eventually, but it takes
scrambles and stuff. Yeah. I could see that. It would slow the deck down a bit. They couldn't just grab their AGs for free.
Yeah.
They would actually have
trash an AG, I might as well have drawn it and played it.
Yeah. They don't have to. Now they have to hoard their AGs in hand. They can't just trash them for their effect resolutions.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about another potential card? What about Shoto?
I think Shoto's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Anything in 7 great?
No. I think that deck's pretty fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. We just got
Red Hybrid. Red Hybrid, they could finally hit something in that. I don't know what.
Would be Grab Crush. That would be Grab Crush. I think Gallant is taking the spot of
Red Hybrid. They should. Maybe they hit the Goonimon? The when attacking one?
No.
The warp ones?
I don't know. The only deck abusing that is Birds.
Yeah. I'm just saying, because
like super top tier.
Red Hybrid's up there with what's it called though, Mirage, where it's been around forever. It could be like the one deck you invest in and never have to pick up another thing.
Yeah, but they keep giving us new support for it.
Right, I just don't know what they would hit. Like the Aldemon, like who cares? You guys have so many Aldemons now. Like
we have 2 of them now. So
so I just don't know.
I don't think it's necessary to hit that deck. Like it's not overbearing.
It's not doing anything right now. Yeah. Like, people are just going to play Gallantmon in its place because you have an immune level 6 that swings for multiple checks and wins the game.
Yeah. I don't like how unbalanced both of the new Ancients are, but they're not being played, so...
Yeah.
There's nothing in Gallant. Like, that deck is, like,
that deck's fair.
Like,
if they were to hit...
They're not going to hit Medieval. They're not going to hit Medieval.
No, they're not. Medieval's the new Death.
Yeah, if they were to hit anything in Gallant, maybe it'd be one of the new X antibodies, but like we just got them, and it's not nearly as egregious as the other X antibody hits we've seen.
It's not.
So I think it's perfectly fine.
I think they did a good job balancing the X antibody line. Like they're good, they're all good, but they're not like, oh my god, I can play this in anything. It's so broken.
Yeah. The only one I could see them realistically hitting is the level 5, and it's like, why? We've seen. Well, I mean, they've hit other cards for more petty reasons, so it's like,
that'd probably be, if they were to hit it down the line, I think that might be the card they do hit, because it gives you the extra security check that you need to OTK people.
You know what? Just for the meme factor, just now that the Gallantmon players actually have a playable deck, hit it. Just to piss them off. Just to piss them all off.
I guess I'll just go back to playing BT9 or Gallant X and just OTKing them anyway.
Yeah.
For future, since we're about to get the upcoming set, do they hit something like Kuzahamon for the Talmon loop?
Oh,
for Tal loop.
I
wish I had seen the
it's gonna be that or Shine Greymon.
Ruin.
Yeah,
I think Ruin mode would make the more sense. They got their money from the L Impact reprint, and now they can hit it to 1 and tell you to eat a bag.
No, I don't think it's getting hit.
I don't think so either.
I wish I had watched like gameplay of the Talmon loop to know exactly what cards are being abused, to know what could be hit to where like it stops that from being super degen, but also like you can still play Sakuyamon.
Yeah, I mean probably Ruin mode. It's the out of archetype.
It can't be Ruin mode. I know the answer's not Ruin mode. That's all I know.
It's the green auction card that lets you Digivolve for free.
Digivolution plugin S or whatever.
Bro, if they hit a plugin on the list, what does the world come to?
Because it's like literally like the Talmon comes out, you Digivolve.
It's an in-archetype. Like
you activate the effect, you play the Talmon back out, Digivolve again, and you just keep doing it until you literally have such a wide board, and then you just start going into Ruin modes. And you just start activating the Ruin modes, popping stuff, and doing everything. It's like your opponent doesn't get to play.
I'm pretty sure.
Right, Like,
Yeah.
okay, the thing is, it
They can
does
play
take
option
some setup.
cards.
It does take some setup, obviously, because you need to see your pieces. But like once you see that combo, it's kind of like, okay, I've locked my opponent out, and I'm just winning from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now Sean, you're gonna disagree.
Okay.
The problematic card is the ruin mode because that's what's stopping your opponent from playing.
You're
It's
not
not like
taking it away
all of
from me.
these. It's not like all of these bodies have rush.
You're not taking it away from me. I don't care what you say. You can't have it.
Can't have
We're
it.
gonna-
You can't have it.
If I can't have my Weregaru, my Gabu X, or I can't say Garu X in good conscience. You can't have ruin mode.
I just think they have to hit some of these cards if they want people to purchase this new product and start playing these new decks, because it's going to be crazy because we're not going to have people aren't going to have Japan's meta to like follow on and be like, well, this is what's meta now. You know what I mean?
Well, the Talmon loop comes out in 2.5, so like they would still want us to purchase that set, which comes out with the pre-releases in 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like the Mirage players, the purple hybrid players who are like, I picked up this deck and I don't have to play anything else. The red hybrid players.
Yeah, but like,
I mean, they're not going to matter.
They're not. We have to remember they're not co-money. Yes, they are a business, but they're not.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear their sole goal is not, oh my god, we need to sell the new set. So we need to banhammer this deck. And
they did hit a Pokemon right before we got it. So
they let us know that card was going to 1 like 3 months before we got that set.
And then
and I think that was the cause of them being like, we need to have everybody getting cards at the same time because this super screwed us.
Yeah. Yeah, BT15 was wild.
Can you guys think of any other cards that maybe need to get banned or limited?
Purely because I think it is super degenerate. Maybe there's a discussion to be had for Dragonic Roar Slayer Dramon. But I don't know how new Examon's going to be, if it can truly abuse it.
True.
But that's a conversation we have that data.
That's my biggest concern about that deck is if they're able to set that up, it's going to make it very hard for decks that aren't hybrid decks
to get rid of it.
To do something about it, because the first thing they're going to have to do is promote from raising, and then they're immediately going to be like, okay, you're going to have to attack, and then I'm going to ace the hell out of you, and then
you're gonna get bodied.
Yeah,
because like that was what made Examon as it was okay.
That was the only good thing about it, is if you got that setup, you were good against a lot of archetypes that had struggles with that.
Like, but now putting in an ace on top of that,
yes, that's very scary.
That's like some Adamon levels of heinousy right there. But you can do it when they have nothing on the board.
You can't edam on their raising.
Yeah.
Like this card, you're like...
Yeah, you're edamoning their raising area effectively, which is really disgusting.
Hey, could you imagine, Sean?
Oh my god, dude. Edamon X antibody, target Digimon in raising area. If they promote next time, it has to attack.
You have to promote...
it has to promote an attack.
Says, your opponent has to promote an attack. It's like, yeah.
The thing is, they'd have to be viable Digimon. Like, you wouldn't force a 7 Gates or a Drazel to promote, but...
That'd be broken.
That'd be awesome.
Stupid. Promote Drazel? DP check? Aww.
You actually can't promote it. So, you can only promote Digimon from the breeding area that have DP.
Yeah.
They have to have DP written on the card. Like, it can be 0, but it needs to have DP on the card.
Make Sean, the original DP of that card 1,000.
I'm struggling to think.
Can you think of anything?
I'm struggling to think of like a deck / archetype that I'm like, damn, this deck needs to really get hit that we haven't already gone over and addressed.
If we hit all these cards, say they do, what about Lord Digimon X? Does that card or does that deck become too strong?
Extremely fair, dude.
So. I don't think so.
There's a reason why I don't play it.
Do you think what about Leviathan? The Dark Animal
Leviathan's also fair. I think the Dark Animal Engine's perfectly fine. I think the same people that are complaining about that... I think
it's a little too generic.
It is, but like... I don't think
you still got to see a lot of pieces. You got to see a lot of cards to pull it off.
Like, you need to see Protoform. If you don't see Protoform, that archetype is way worse. Having played Lord Digimon X with the Dark Animal package, like, I think it's perfectly fair. Is it really powerful if you get all your stuff right and you're playing against the right deck and you don't check options out of your opponent's security? Yes.
Yeah.
But so are a lot of other things.
I think my only issue with the Lord Nightmon X deck was Lord Nightmon X itself telling you can't Digivolve, but that's just ace counter. That's not like...
It was necessary, otherwise you were just going to get ace and you were just be like, oh, I lose. That was a very fragile deck. That was... Lord Nightmon X is a glass cannon, and that was my biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
It's like...
I don't think it needs to be hit.
I don't either. I think it's...
What else have we gotten recently that isn't currently seeing top tier play that could potentially be a problem?
I think...
But even then, if there is anything, we'd be hitting it preemptively, and I think that would be a mistake.
I think people, if they haven't already started in the not-too-distant future, they're going to be begging for Medieval Gallantmon to get hit. But it's the exact same thing as Death X when we got it, where people were like, this card's so good, it needs to go to 1 or whatever. It is a comeback card.
Necessary evil.
It was necessary evil. It is clearly designed to put yourself back in the game, potentially, if your opponent is, like, out-tempoed you, which I think is necessary in this game. And it is basically a power creep version of Death X. Is it really, really strong? Yes.
Yeah. This is Digimon's version of Nibiru.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that.
But, like... Yes, I think it's better than Death X now because it's way easier to put on the field, and it does more than Death X in my opinion. But it's not like, yes, it can mess up your board, sure, but like you can respond to it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think it's ever gonna get hit.
No, it won't.
Just like
I think it'll be one of those cards that
everything.
I think it'll be one of those cards that always floats around. Like a lot of decks just playing like 1 or 2 versions of it. Like you won't see many decks playing like 4 full copies unless it's like some kind of control deck.
Yeah, it'd be the same decks that you saw running around with 4 Death X. It's like just security control, and that's basically it.
That's it. Yeah. Are there any other decks we saw top? Because like I'm trying to think of all the top decks that we've been seeing in our like weekly look-sees.
Those were like the first 4 I named off. Mirage, Purple Hybrid,
Imperial, Purple Hybrid.
And then what was the other one?
The generic Memboost cards.
Takamiki Zuchi.
I see people talk about hitting training cards and things like that, and I'm just like,
no, they're stupid.
No, yeah.
Stupid.
Come on, man.
If you
hit this consistency boosting card, it's so unfair.
If you hit one, you have to hit all of them. Like,
well, yeah, they're talking. I've seen people talk about they need to all get hit, and I'm like, why?
No.
Who hurt you with a training card that you think it needs to go on the ban list?
They saw the one card they needed.
Well, like I could understand. I could understand.
Mute him. Mute him. Don't let him finish the sentence.
It said the next time you would Digivolve, like reduce the cost by 2, but you crack it and it immediately forces you to Digivolve. So like you can't stack it.
No, you can't.
It's just a generic good searcher, and it's a one-time use. It's a perfectly designed card.
They designed it very well. They did a really good job designing those, and they also did an amazing job designing the scrambles. The scrambles are very good, but they also did a very good job balancing them.
Yes.
Very fair.
Yes.
I think it's perfect.
I think any generic consistency boost card should not be hit. I think that's kind of ridiculous.
I'm sure we're overlooking something. People are going to want
I feel like we are forgetting something that's like maybe obvious, but I can't think of it.
People are going to want us to hit more in Imperial other than Ken and Davis, but I just don't know what else you would.
I see people talk about I see people talking about hitting the rookie, or not the rookies, but the level 4s that gain memory from BT12. But I think those are perfectly fine. I think the issue is the dual tamer. If the dual tamer was at 1 and they never saw it, they would need the memory gain level 4s.
Yeah.
I could see an argument for what Chris just said, the Pyildramon, because you still have a really good Pyildramon in the starter deck Pyildramon. It just doesn't also stun your board. But
I think
Davis,
The Pyodramon is extremely strong, but that's also in combination with the Ken and Davis, because you're stripping sources as
you
well.
could play around the Pyodramon if they didn't strip your sources.
Right. Yeah. So it's very strong. Partition's a very good effect. But I feel like if you hit Partition and Ken and Davis, that deck is entirely dead. What about Red, Purple, Imperial? Do we think there's anything in that needs to be hit so it doesn't become a problem? Because I don't think so, because it's still a very heavy combo deck.
It is more combo than Imperial is.
Yeah, it's it still needs a very good pilot. There will be players out there who don't know what they're doing with the deck.
And even then, with a good pilot, Ben will play that deck one week and high roll the bejesus at everyone, and then he'll play it again the next week and completely scrub out because he just didn't draw the right cards.
I remember that he brought it one week, went undefeated, and then brought it the next week, and I think he went winless.
Yes, 2 consecutive weeks. It was the same format. Yes.
So okay, well then I think we talked about everything that we wanted to.
I'm looking at older sets just to try to get a little reminder of what's coming around. I don't see anything else.
I think we're actually in a pretty healthy format right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you just took Mirage off the table as well as Davis and Ken, I think we're kosher.
Yeah,
I think Balmon. I think something in that deck needs to get hit. That deck's very popular.
I don't like decks that have zero counterplay to them. You can't even set up an ace play versus them in most decks, and those are decks that I don't like existing. Is just decks that don't have counterplay.
Yeah. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
I think we've covered it all.
If they literally just limited BT11 Mirage and didn't do anything else, I'd be okay.
Okay.
So Mirage,
Davis and Ken,
something in Purple Hybrid, probably Jack Raid and Matt. Those are the 2 floaters.
I'd be fine if they just hit Jack Raid and all the other memory gain options. I think Matt would be fine if Jack Raid went to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you're right, because then they couldn't keep doing the loop with the
infinite recycle thing isn't a big deal. What happens is they do that a few turns.
Because they run out of memory eventually.
Well, it's not even that. They just do that a few turns in a row, and then they just quadruple Jack Raid you and Merva kill you.
Yep.
Right. So, then...
sorry, go ahead.
The Balmon.
Yeah, and Balmon, I would like to see hit eventually.
And then Angelamon, Ace, and Dominimon. We all agree that those cards did get hit.
You're going to get muted.
He keeps threatening it. I'm waiting for the day where he actually mutes one of us.
Let's see, I have to... How do I do it?
Joke's on you, I'll mute my...
Oh, there we go, I muted him. Alright, you're unmuted.
My life has never been better.
Yeah, I do have the power to mute you. I was right.
So, I think it's a pretty good discussion. We already talked about the cards that we think can come off the ban list as well, so...
I'd say it's about time we go hit some comment questions.
Okay.
I don't think there was that many this week. I think this past episode only had 11 or 12 comments. We went from one episode having 50 to this one, it was 11 or 12 comments.
Hey, that means we're out of here quick.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the more controversial the topics, the more comments we will get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
I think
see this. Sean, you literally
comments because this is a Gallant Monoscope. So people are I gotta click on this.
This is what you need to do for this title, Sean. It just needs to say the Omni4Game podcast, episode number 17, and they just put ban list in all capital letters. Just ban list.
No, you gotta do a custom thumbnail where it's Sean pointing at it, and it's got the big red circle around it, every other
with the X or the.
I like doing consistent thumbnails. That way, people that already watch the material recognize it.
Okay, so put out the thumbnail you always use for this, except for add the red circle with the line going through it on top of it.
Okay.
Omni4Game banned?
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Comment questions. Justin So 8231. Wow, someone topped with Pulsemon.
We're just as surprised.
Yep. He also said, keep up with the great Digimon content. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's very nice.
You didn't have to post the Pulsemon one. You could have just said that.
Yeah, you could have just said that and just left it alone.
Can't give Robbie false hope.
For real, dude. Robbie tells me every week he's at locals, he's like, when are you going to put Pulsemon in the vote? And I'm like, I'm literally not going to.
Never.
I was like, one, I don't want to have to build a deck because I don't want to have to think about it. And he's like, you can just borrow mine. And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Nope.
And then two, I would just lose. It would just be, I would post videos of me just getting duggied on by whatever I played against. Sudra Baines V2. Gallant X and Magna X are now reasons I'm considering to drop the game entirely. I've been waiting for a ban list for incredibly long. Current ban list, besides like 2 or 3 cards, is a complete joke to the power level and layered interactivity forced by unaffected effects. I don't see how the game would change much even after surgical ban lists unless they gutted trainings entirely from game at very least. This is one of the people I see that is like, trainings need to go to 0 or whatever.
I love how he... listen, alright, no offense to you, dude. I love how you complained about Gallant and Magna and then said trainings are the problem.
Yeah.
Does this guy just get super? Dude, there must be someone at his
This guy goes to locals and gets touched by someone playing 4 trainings in their deck.
Him. No, he's just been getting bullied ever since Magna X came out, and then the guy finally, the same guy, he's like, you know what, I'm done with this deck, and picks up Gallant X, and then just started dugging on him again with Gallant X.
Again.
This reminds me, we had 2 people that went to our locals every week, and they stopped coming because Magna X was a card.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Bro, what are trainings? What's wrong with them?
I don't know, dude. That's not the first person I've seen say that. I don't understand where that take comes from.
They're not getting
fair.
hit.
They're extremely fair.
They just announced that they're getting alt arts. Have you guys seen those?
Those are scrambles.
They're beautiful.
Those are scrambles.
They're scrambles. Oh, that sucks.
Oh yeah, those are scrambles.
No, the trainings had ones out of the Syndril and Vortex deck.
Yeah, we have alt arts of them, but you're thinking of the scrambles.
Yeah. Trainings aren't going anywhere, guys. Come on now.
Yeah, they're extremely balanced. I don't understand the thought process.
Famous last words. Knock on wood.
If they hit him, I'll be like, why? I will be very curious what the paragraph underneath the hit says and what their reasoning for it was. And
makes consistent. Yeah, makes decks too consistent.
I guess you guys want to go back to pre-BT, whatever the hell we got the mulligan in.
Along with the
BT 12, I think, is when we first got mulligans.
Along with hitting trainings, we've decided no more mulligans. Okay,
no mulligans, no memory boost, no trainings. Cut all the search rookies. Screw you. Enjoy not playing the game. D Lacey 1895. Even though HBD should be at 0, it would be pretty cool to see how Digisorption.deck would hold up to the modern meta. With like Sarismon and stuff. I think that would just lose to removal, but...
Yeah. And I need you to have Digimon out on the board. What am I going to do about a Gallant X that you've built in the raising and then like...
just waiting.
You got to have Digimon for that deck to do anything.
Gallant X feels very similar to a hybrid deck because I'm literally just not playing in the battle area and I'm just waiting for you to do something. I'm just like, okay, you're dead now.
Oh, you swung with your rookie and it survived? That's a shame.
That's a shame. You got 5 security? Damn, that sucks.
Anyway. No, I mean, I think if it was to be played, a Digisorption style deck, I don't think Sarismon would still be its top end. I think you'd have a new top end. But
the only decent Digisorption cards around right now are the Blossomon and the Argomon. That's it.
No. And HPD. It's Digisorption in every...
Yeah, I guess.
Technically, yeah, it's basically Digisorption the card.
I mean, I also agree. I'm very surprised HPT hasn't had 0, but as long as it stays at 1, I'm gonna keep going.
I see people constantly, like, anytime I see a competitive player talk about it, they're like, "Why? I don't understand why this card's still at 1." And I'm like, I don't either. Why the hell has Bandai refused to hit this card to 0? Benjamin Wiseman 6567. I think Medieval Gallantmon is overrated, honestly. It's good against decks that need to play Digimon to win, obviously, but it's still niche, and its removal is DP-based deletion, which is the worst type. If I have one free slot in my deck in the option between Medieval Gallantmon or Death Exmon, I'm playing Death Exmon. For the matchups where Death Exmon is good, it can be game-saving, and its removal is D-Digivolve and deletion every turn. one of the first place lists you showed was playing Death X Mon and not Medieval Gallant Mon, so there's that.
I can agree with him. Like I see where like Death X can become, or it can be like way more impactful than Medieval. Like Medieval, I agree. Like the DP based deletion is, you know, like
it is probably one
best.
of the worst removal effects. Yes.
Yeah, but I think it's just a new kid on the block. Like Death X, literally Robbie dropped it on me for free last night. It almost wiped my entire board. Like Medieval wasn't going to do that.
No.
Death X was though.
Death X is, oh my god, my opponent spammed the board with 8 bodies in one turn. Yep. I need a panic button. Medieval Gallant is, I'm playing a game that's relatively back and forth. My opponent managed to out-tempo me for one turn, and I need to respond to their board. But they only have like 2 guys on the field.
Yeah, like Medieval is very good, but like I think there's cases for both. Like I could see myself, like if I was gonna play Mother Control, I'm playing some number of both.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the deck and what the format, and also what decks you potentially lose to or have bad matchups.
Because Digivolve is very strong.
It's very good.
We all agree.
Let's not forget though, Medieval Gallant has another form of removal, and it's called attacking over your Digimon that I just suspended.
Vortex and Alliance, baby.
I do not make vids yet. The top 16 for Oceania Nationals was not in order of ranking. Gallant actually won the whole thing.
No, really?
Gordon,
that was that was literally the one that just said top 16, and it was just like we went straight down the list. Like all of them just said top 16, right?
Oh well,
yeah, and it was the one that said we'll update it.
The next comment gives us the top 8.
Yeah, Vice 505 top 8 during Top Cut for Oceania. First, Gilmon Bread with Gallantmon X. Second, Vincent with Fenry. Third, Air with Purple Hybrids. Fourth, KG Roxas with Gallant X. Fifth, Fitzy with Mirage. Sixth, Daniel Sue with Magna X. Seventh, Trevor with Mirage. Eighth, Jubs with Purple Hybrids. I do want to comment that while Gallantmon is not as oppressive to beat, we do have to keep in mind that it can OTK with the right stack between Security +1 with Wargrowl X and the spin of Gallant X. Also, most blue decks do struggle into Gallant X if they rely on Bounce and see Wargrowl X on top of the large DP it can gain. It can gain plus 8k DP off of Gallantmon X alone, since the win attacking is not once per turn. What are you talking about, dude? Gallantmon X can't OTK through 5 security.
Yeah. No, definitely.
That's a myth.
It's a myth. The deck is good, but I
don't think it's going to be the best thing if we hit these other decks we've talked about. Because, I mean, if you look at that top 8, we talked about hitting every single deck on there except Gallant X.
Yeah.
No, Gallant X will become probably the top deck because of representation.
Yeah, representation's definitely helping it, but like...
And it's getting more support in this upcoming set. It will become the best deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just based off representation.
Well, let them have their day in this. All right, we had Graham on the card game. We had Veem on the card game. Let's have Guillaume on the card game for
that is true.
Month or 2.
Despite all the waves of support for Gallantmon, it has never actually been meta.
Yeah.
Ever.
Maybe we can actually have those people who left our locals come back, because one of them was a ginormous Gallantmon stand.
They both were, actually. One of them preferred Medieval Gallant, the older one.
Yeah.
Or not Medieval Gallant, I'm sorry. Chaos Gallant.
Chaos
Gallant.
And McGeedramon, and the other one was a Gallantmon player. Maybe.
Hey, it's popular,
Blind Owl 123. I'm loving playing Medieval Gallantmon and Gallantmon X. Not only does it help break established boards, but thanks to all the memory gaining effects the deck has, it makes it really easy to play Medieval Gallantmon. Delete a bunch of bodies with its end of turn, then swing back the memory to 0 to allow Gallant X to swing unaffected. Not to mention it being searchable means you can do some crazy things like play a Searcher Rookie, add it to hand, then play it with its reduced cost if your opponent only has 1 body. Yeah, I actually did that the other night. I think I did it to Robbie. Yep. The rookie I played searched the Medieval Gallant. And then I evoed up a little bit more, and then I suspended my body and his Lord Nightmon and blew up his Lord Nightmon. Yes, I agree. It's really nasty. It's real fun. That one Larry dude. The Angels' argument for Ruin Mode in the Latin American finals was straight up Takamiki. He's playing 2 because Dom is worthless against that deck, then just Ruin Mode and buy yourself a turn. I was the only other Angel player in the tournament, ended in 35th, bubbled out of top 32, but it was fun. Phase 2 Mirage Ancient Garo featuring Medieval Gallant, Gallant X. I wasn't prepared for this one, nor Medieval Gallant. We got the set 1 week before the championship. Royal Knights featuring Medieval Gallantmon, Birds featuring Medieval Gallantmon, and 2 purple hybrids. I was extremely prepared for this one, LMAO. Both played Medieval Gallant. I'm developing a traumatic episode against this guy. That actually makes a lot of sense, because that is like the one deck that you're most scared of, speaking from experience. So, I mean, I guess I could understand the justification for Ruin Mode if, like, you're literally like, I am putting this in for this specific deck and only this deck.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
If you've got the room in your deck list where it's just like, hey, like, I can make space for this, like, and this is the only deck that hurts me, like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Crimson 35124. Tankdramon has synergy with Aegis since it reduces the play cost of all their Digimon. Also, if you flooded the board so that Death X is free for the opponent, the on-play wouldn't trigger, covering a big weakness for D-Brigade.
Fair, I guess.
That is interesting. Friendly Ginger 4877. I've never heard someone talk about peas and saying they're lit. Well,
yeah, they're
okay,
nasty.
Here you go. Here's round 2. Peas are lit.
They are lit.
These are disgusting.
I don't think they're
You don't
technically a
love little
vegetable,
green balls
but
in
if
your
they
mouth?
were, they'd be my favorite vegetable besides taters.
Listen,
That's
I also...
Taters are by
also
far my favorite
despise-
vegetable.
Yeah, I also despise boba. So maybe it's just something I have against little
It's
balls filled with stuff.
It's probably a texture thing for you, because boba tea, while awkward to drink, is pretty good.
I will say, there was a yogurt they sold at Walmart a while ago.
Those were awesome. I know you're about to talk. Yeah.
They had little Starburst flavored like bobas in them. I couldn't stand it. Like, I loved the flavor of the yogurt. I could not stand it. I think it's me and these little sacks of filled items that I just can't deal with. But now peas are awful, taste-wise and everything.
Yeah.
Little mushy, soggy little douchebags. Not soggy, but mushy.
And then Crimson 35124. LMAO Magna X handing out HJs. Yes.
He do be
He just be giving out them hand gibbers. He's like, nice board. Get it away from me.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
No reach around for you.
Yeah. What's awesome is if you have one of your green guys up, it's 30,000 DP instead of 24. Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Why not, indeed?
I was reading one of the comments on my Gallant X deck profile that went live this morning.
Oh, yeah?
It was something about like gimmicky list, but I think it's worse than the standard list. There isn't a standard list yet, fun fact. So I don't know what that person's talking about, but...
Also, like, your list is literally, hey, I'm killing you.
Yeah. Like, I'm not playing this
list,
BS game, I'm just gonna destroy you.
Like, the regular list wants to play it like an old Gallantmon list, and I think that's objectively wrong. I think with these new cards, you need to adjust the strategy to be more like how you're playing it, where it's just straight up like, I'm playing a generic OTK deck now that just happens to be called Gallant.
Yeah, and it lets me play around aces and stuff like that, and it lets me clear a whole bunch of stuff if you have things on the field that I can kill.
So, you know.
Alright, sweet.
Alright.
Now go ahead and do your thing, Brandon. I'm gonna go eat lunch.
I'm gonna eat lunch too, I can't wait, I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I gotta do laundry.
We're gonna watch Daima and Invincible.
I gotta switch my laundry over.
Busy day.
Yes. Excellent.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
Alright, boys.
Later.
See you later.
Later.